And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome all to the RSL Revival StarCraft League Season 6 Korean Server Qualifier. I'm of course your VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in chat as well. Welcome all. Bienvenidos to the second qualifier of the season. For those that are curious, for those that are unaware, yesterday we were live with the Americas qualifier, and we of course featured both Byun and Cure advancing on into the main event. Now we are live with the Korean Server Qualifier. We're here to find out which other two players will join Byun, will join Cure, and the other invited players in the RSL. Let's go. Let us go. Also bearing in mind as well that that when it comes to the main events, we have also heard that the offline finals of the season are going to be showcased over at BlizzCon, because Tasos is already there. Looks like they've figured out a deal to have the finals at BlizzCon as well, alongside the Blizzard Cup, so even more kind of notoriety or even more weight behind this final season, or this season of the RSL as well. Let's go, papi, let's go. For now though, let's jump into the bracket. Let's jump on in. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Let us head on over and catch up with the bracket. Otherwise, also, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Psycons in the chat. Papi guys, 17 months subscribing. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it, papi. We appreciate it. Oh, as that looks like we may have some issues. Hold on. Can you try making okay. Looks like we do have some connectivity issues here with some of the players, and hopefully everything clears up. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But for now, let's head on over here to the main bracket itself. From the top here, we have Maru. He's waiting in the quarterfinals, waiting for his next opponent. We have the Korean Terran player Silver BV up against the Chinese Zurich Silky in the round of 16. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have Trigger. He's waiting for the winner of Percival and Roxas, as they're going to be facing off, and ideally will be mid-series, so wish them both the best of luck in their matchup. Scrolling down a little bit further here, we do have Zan. He is waiting for the winner of Yang Yakov and Camo. That'll be our next series. That'll be our series coming up first, of course. And then scrolling down a little bit further, we have Trap. He's waiting for the winner of Nightmare and Employment. Oh boy. The first thing to take note of here is that Trap is playing again. Let's go. If you remember, Trap did compete actually in the Doyo Cup. Trap, he was active. He was okay when it came to his performance. Definitely was a little bit rough around the edges, of course. He struggled to make it out of the group stage. It was a rough group. Trap did not make it through the group stage of Doyo Cup, but great to see him after Doyo Cup signing up and competing in the qualifier of RSL, giving us a little bit of hope that maybe Trap intends to compete for a little bit longer and to get back into the foray of StarCraft. It's hard to really confirm that at the moment. I would not I wouldn't confirm that yet, but hey, we'll see if he plays in more open cups throughout the course of the week and plays in more than just this qualifier, even qualifies for the main event as well. We'll see. So excited to see Trap is a part of the event. Meanwhile, when it comes to other casters and other casters covering the event, of course, I believe Shin is casting in Korean and Ryung is also casting in Korean as well. You can see here they have their own respective series. I believe Ryung would be covering the Silver BV versus Silky series into Maru, and I think Shin is covering the Nightmare versus Employment into Trap, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe they have their own respective series that they are going to be casting themselves. So best of luck. They'll be over on their own respective channels. We meanwhile have our own series, Yakov versus Camo. But I did just mention that we have been getting some. There we go. Let's go, Hawk. As we have been having some issues making the lobby, but it's all good. Looks like the issues have since been resolved, and we have our first series of the broadcast. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching up. Ourselves on the new patch, I presume. I've said this before, but you should make the assumption that every event is going to be on the new patch. The only exception to that is Maestros of the Game, which was on the previous patch, which was on a mod for the previous patch, because the entirety of the event did take place in the previous patch as well. So you should always just be going in and assuming like, oh, okay, so RSL is going to be the new patch, Homestar Cup is going to be the new patch, or the Open Cup is going to be the new patch. Make that assumption unless told otherwise, of course. For some reason, we've been seeing a lot of people asking about that. But let's go. Let's go. We're jumping into our first series and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Rainfall. We have the teal Protoss player. It is Camo. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself representing Stanley Balls. It is Young Yakov. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open and place your bets on who you think. Oh, let's go. Who do you think will claim the series? Best of luck in the chat as we are jumping into a proxy to kick things off. Now, coming into this, Young Yakov, of course, is the favorite player. Camo is more of an amateur player stepping into the ring, but already spicing things up early on. I'm ready. I'm excited. Vámonos, baby, vámonos. Let's go. Let's go. As we just catch up elsewhere. Everyone is as default at this point, I understand? Yeah, for sure. It's not working? Oh, did the predictions not begin? Or did they already close? Hold on, I'll get on the Gamba. I'll get on it. Oh, true. My apologies. Had to conclude the Solar versus Max Pack series from yesterday. And there we go. Now it's on. And now it is on. For the time being, though, we're going to be jumping on in. Again, it is going to be a cannon rush? Question mark? Wait, what? That's a proxy gate with a forge. It's going to be proxy zealot alongside cannons. Remember, no gas. No gases alongside this whatsoever. We're setting it with our pylons. We're setting it with our cannons. We're setting it with our zealot rush. And we'll see if or how Young Yakov can respond. Bearing in mind that we do have a hatch gas pull opener. Standard opener here by Young Yakov. He only has boys to pull. No lings are available yet. We'll see if these cannons can get up and running. Ooh, as wondering does slip by. Yeah, this one worker does slip by, does scout, does confirm the proxy location. We might even try to go across the map, but no, the drone does. We're thinking about it. We're thinking about it at this point. Cannons are going to be thrown down within range of the hatchery. Zealot does poke up into the main base, and these cannons should be able to finish up. They should finish. Meanwhile, that drone does or is sent across the map. Let's go. Drone is sent out. Zealot does swipe away here at the workers. So far, Young Yakov does control well, pulling back the weakened drones. Hasn't lost anything yet. Oh, this round. Yeah, it comes after the round. Oh, and the Zealot does get surrounded. Still kills 1, 2 drone kills. Nice target firing at the Camo, getting 3 drones. Just three so far. Lings will clean up, and behind this, the cannons do finish. The hatchery is cancelled, but Yakov has a drone elsewhere, going for the ninja base. Yeah, it does go for the ninja. Does go for the expand across the map. Meanwhile, Camo, I believe, is unaware of this. We can try to push up into the main. Roach Horn gets thrown down. We're skipping link speed, of course. Just the one gas mining. Roaches are on the horizon, and these Zealots got a lot of work to do. Ta-da! And the unfortunate reality here is, especially with this ninja base getting up and running, is that we can soon make roaches across the map as well. Then we can bypass the cannons and push up into the main. No boy. So Yakov, he is setting up. With these initial roaches, we should be morphing them into Ravagers. I don't know if we have enough gas to make too much here, but there we go. We have our 2 roaches on the way. The roaches are coming. And Yakov confirming that Camo intends to expand. We see Camo is searching for ninja bases. Again, should be aware that a drone did sit by. Should be aware. Here come those Ravagers. Drones across the map. Not rushing roaches. Okay. we're just going drone up. Why not, Pappy? Why not? Okay. Oof. Pass on the cannon. We'll bring the first one down. Back at home, going for the robo, going for a mortal production. And these Ravagers, they will break out. Oh, and the proxy hatch or the ninja base does get found. Okay. Does find the base. Behind us, we have Lings on the way. It was just the one drone, thankfully. Yeah, just the one. Pylon goes down. Queen will fall. And this is a nice cleanup here from Camo. But we can still make use of this lava. Yeah, we can still use the lava. Ling Ravager breaks free. Ooh, there's some latency issues. It might be Yakov. I mentioned earlier that Yakov was having a hard time connecting. But I did notice that lag spike. Oof. Yeah, I did notice it. And hopefully it clears up throughout the series. Fingers crossed as the hatchery does go down. There's still 3 larvae here to make use of. Yakov does push across the map. Behind this, he's droning. Okay, he's droning up. He's saturating. Gonna try to recover. Cleans up the proxy. Back at home, there's a cannon. There's 2 stalkers. Camo should be okay. Should be okay. Should be fine. I'm assuming that it's one of the players. I'm hoping it's not me. It might be the server, actually. We experienced this yesterday, if you recall, during the What ECB Monday, where the server was kind of dying on us. Okay, just in case. Mudfish. Setting up the mudfish. Setting on up. No. As from here, camera, he does break out. Behind this, he's forcing himself into an all-in here with 2 gates at a Stargate behind this, going Void Ray. A little bit messy here. The build itself is a little bit disjointed as we're spending resources in a very different tech path while we're going for an all-in. Nice force fields, locking down one of the queens. Yeah, nice force fields, locks down one of the queens. Moves further in. We'll see if we can get on top of the Ravagers. So far, it doesn't quite break through, but can contain the Zerg on 2 bases, though. I'm going for the 3rd. Going for the 3rd base. Lings, they tend to engage. They do catch a sentry at least. Yeah, getting 1, 2 sentries. Stalkers as well. Oh, some heavy losses here for Camo. No! Oh my god. Barely saves the Immortal, but again, some rough losses here for the Protoss. Not like this, Pappy, not like this. And with that, the aggression is subsiding. Across the map, again, we're massing up Void Rays of all things. Again, this does feel very awkward just because we attacked in one direction, then the other, and we're not really... It's not too cohesive, is maybe the way we're putting it. Yeah, not very cohesive here. And Yakov, he can start to outscale. Now moving out, looking to delay the 3rd base. So it looks like we're rushing into a fleet beacon into Sky Toss. It's a bold move tech-wise, for sure. We got a ways to go to build up into that. As Voids will defend the 3rd. And Yakov is almost done with his lair. Now the question becomes, does he go into Aspire into Mass Corruptor, or does he go into Hydras, into Hydra Tech instead? Like, what's going to be his answer here to the attempted Skychill switch? He hasn't scouted the fleet beacon, but he sees 2 Void Rays, so there's already a sign, of course, of something abnormal going on, and of that switch into a Stargate. A committed switch into Stargate. Yakov already has a piece of the puzzle. Mortal drop in towards the 3rd. And it is going to be the Spire. Okay, so this will scale better into a longer game, which means Yakov intends to drone. Oh, it's going to be a cancel. Does cancel, but the Immortal goes down. A better trade here for Yakov. I mean, the Immortal doesn't really matter too much now, so we're switching to Mass Void Ray. Jesus. Now, as we get into Spire and into Mass Corruptor can overwhelm Void Rays with support, and when we hit critical Massive Corruptor as well. We'll see if Yakov will get there. As for now, Lings, they apply more pressure, delaying the economy, getting into the mineral line. Void Rays, they try to move out across the map. There are queens to defend. Yeah, we have the queens ready. Ooh, massive pickup, taking down one of the Void Rays. That is a kill on the hatchery. But does still catch the Void. As both players are being slowed down in their own way. Carrier production has begun. Charge as well? I mentioned this earlier, but again, like we're spending a lot of resources in a lot of different directions here instead of being a little bit more focused. And that does hurt the overall end result. Nice cancel. Denies the fourth base for a second time. Oh, and we're actually going mass muta first. I mean, hey, against a low amount of void rays, mutas, they can hold their own. They can overwhelm. There's only two void rays. Carriers are still amassing. And mutas have arrived. Yeah, they have arrived. They will chase us down. They catch one. One void ray falls. We're charging, moving in. There's nothing here on the ground. We got 3 slow lots. We got 2 stalkers. The wilds, they do connect. Catching another zealots. Mutas also on the way. Mutas are coming out of the wilds. Oh my god. The wilds, they connect. Mutas actually hit the main, actually going for the carrier. Okay. Hey, they catch a carrier. Carrier goes down. Massive pickoff. More lings and roaches flooding across the map. But corrupted production has begun just in case. And both carriers, they fall to the mutas. Oh, the battery. Doing what they can, but alas, the carrier still does fall. Third base is forfeits, and with that, Young Yakov, he snowballs out of control. GG gets called, and Young Yakov will claim game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. He'll take lead in the series. Again, Camo, he had some interesting ideas, but once again, I think my biggest criticism here was it was just very unfocused, going from the initial cannon rush into immortal push, into what looked to be an immortal based all-in, into a void ray response, into charge as well. Like, it was into carrier. It was like a little bit all over the place. Had some potential, of course, and there were some nice moves, especially when it came to the void rays denying bases. They canceled what, 2-3 hatcheries, even killed a hatchery at one point as well. So very nice harassing damage at least, but in the end it got outscaled, and there just wasn't enough of an army to stand strong and to keep up. GG. GG, well played. With that, Young Yakov does take lead, and now we're going to be loading the game at numero 2. Let's go. Game 2 going to be on At Eternity's Edge. Let us go. When it comes to the rest of the bracket, we'll get there eventually. We'll get there. So the bracket is progressing. And bearing in mind, Xian is waiting for the winner of this series. Is waiting. I'll be honest, I was hoping that I could try to catch Purcell versus Roxas for the eventual Purcell versus Trigger match, but I think Purcell is MIA again. He has been missing. He didn't show yesterday for the Americas qualifier, and I don't think he's here yet either. But let's go. Let's go. This morning in the bottom right-hand corner of At Eternity's Edge, we have the Teal Protoss player, the Teal Protoss himself, down in the series. Can he bounce back? It is Camo. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself representing Stanley Balls, going for what looks to be an 11 pool. It is Young Yakov. Okay. Going for the 11 pool. Here we go. We're going for an early Link Flood out of our Zerg player. I'm curious to see if we do combine this with a drone pool as well. Going for a Link Flood drone pool, and how this all comes together. But regardless, hyper aggression here by Young Yakov. If this goes unscouted, Lings, they can get across the map. They can surround the initial pylon and shut it down. So we'll see if Camo can scout, react, and pull the boys in time to defend the low ground. Go. Oh, okay, a Forge opener. So gateway into Forge, into what should be a cannon rush. Now with the I think it's too late. Like, the probe is going to move out across the map. We'll scout the lack of expansion. We'll scout the pool timing, which means we can reactively throw down cannons. But I think that will be too late, is what I was making reference to, because we already have links on the way. Confirming lack of expansion. We need cannons back at home immediately. That's a late reaction. Yeah, it's a late reaction. Lings are revealed. He's going for the Nexus. He's going for the Nexus first. Does go for the Nexus. There's no Zealot on the way. There's no Zealot on the way, or a defensive cannon. Lings are coming. There we go. Now we get the cannon production. We might be able to fully wall to try to protect the pylon. There's a cyber core. Probe is getting in position. Okay. We can fully wall. Yeah, we can wall off in time. And the cannon will finish. Yo, shattered the probe. I wasn't sure if we could, but does wall off in time. And with that, Cam is fine. Camo is perfectly fine. He's safe. He's sound. He defends. It doesn't get the damage I was hoping for, but at the same time, this was an 11 pool, so it's also an inefficient build by Young Yakov. As it settles, who's in a better position here? I mean, the hatchery was also delayed, so it was delayed, and of course the early pool timing and the later gases here. It's not bad here for Camo. We'll see where he goes from here. Very often we see Cannon Rusher or Forge Opener into Stargate play, into Skytoss, so we're imagining that that will be the go-to here for Camo as well. We'll see that trend continues. Based on the panel location, we can hide tech a little bit further back as well. Show us what you got. Stargate or something more abnormal. Go. Let's come out as a gas. There it is. So you're going for the Stargates. From here we can go Void Ray, hunt down the Overlords, go into the Fleet Beacon and flood in, rush into Skytoss, into Tempest or Carriers. Kind of pick your poison. From Young Yakov, it's going to be on him to drone up as hard as possible, build up Queens to defend against an Oracle-based opener, for example, and try to gain a better economy. Minimize losses, and overwhelm in the mid game. And we'll see if we can. So there's going to be Void Ray first, not Oracle. Again, we can hunt down the Overlords. But my concern here is that the growth that Young Yakov should have, in the sense that he should be able to drone up, get a lair, and can assume that it is going to be Skytoss. Yep, there we go. Overlord goes in, and the Overlord does confirm the Void Ray. So Yakov, he's aware of the Skytoss, behind this lair first, before link speed. Making all the correct calls. I feel like to go for an earlier timing, we can go for a set Hydrogen, but I mean, the Spy worked well last time. Shield upgrades? I mean, okay, sure. I guess it helps. Okay. Attack if he can drone, he can saturate, claiming his gases. Fleet Beacon is now on the way. Wings will be deflected. And what's it going to be? Spire or Hydrogen? Show us what you got. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. As Yakov does go for the Hydrogen. There you go. So game 1 with Spire, here it's going to be Hydras. This is for a much stronger, much more crisp timing here. Obviously, Hydras do not scale anywhere near as well as Spire and Corruptor tech coming into a longer and later game, but we should just be droning up to 3 base saturation, getting a 4th base just for Lava, and then just going pure Ling Hydra to push across the map. You can also go Ling Bane Hydra, and the purpose of the Banelings would be to knock down the wall of cannons and shield batteries, assuming that there's a lot of cannons and shield batteries here, so that'd be the way to kind of like break through that sag defense. Then Hydras can kind of break through everything else. Yakov pokes in, gets eyes on the defensive setup. He saw the researching, just the researching buildings here, so was aware. Going mothership first. Camo, he is banking up a lot of resources though, so again, usually in this position, the reason why we're banking up 1,000 minerals would be cannons. Yeah, cannons, shield batteries, pylons, more sag defense here. This is a little bit delayed for Camo, but it's getting there nonetheless. Likewise, he's missing a bit of saturation here at the natural as well, and we need that gas for more Skytoss units. A little bit messy. Going doubles? This is so greedy. Going double Slimer Core, trying to go double upgrades. Bold move, Bappy, bold move. And here comes Yakov. Yakov is moving out. Spire behind this. Okay, so Yakov, he's opting not to go for Ling Bane Hydra. He's just going Ling Hydra. Behind this, going for the Spire and Corruptors if need be. We have 1 Void Ray, 1 Tempest, 1 Carrier, 1 of everything. Fights back against the interceptors. We can dive in the Void Ray. Ooh, cloak is activated. Gotta respect the cloak. We gotta respect it. And Hydras, they will at least deny the fourth. Yeah, fourth base goes down. Yakov's still droning up to 4 base saturation, pulling away, and getting ready for Corruptors. As we might even catch out. Oh, what are we going for? The carrier. They'll set us step in. Slow zone will force us back. Mothership gets low, but does not go down. So far, these are efficient trades here for Camo, as he hasn't lost anything except for interceptors. He wants the mothership. He gets it. Oh my god. Mothership goes down. Can snipe the Void Ray as well. No, with another carrier coming out though. And another carrier has arrived. And now we have our 12 Corruptors in production. They're coming. And this one, Yakov just has to be patient. Build up his economy, build up his mass Corruptor. The essence Corruptors would typically be Void Rays and a ground-based army to support, so think of Storm, think of Archons. But here, we don't really have the setup for any kind of gateway composition, so there's very little support, very limited support for the Skytoss. And at the moment, at least, Camo isn't really thinking about Corruptors. His eyes are mainly on the Hydras, so he's not making any Void Rays. Bit of supply block. But lack of Void Rays can get him killed here, considering that's all we have available to try to survive. As we just go for the dive, yeah, Corruptors reveal themselves. He gets one. Gets one carrier. We'll get the other as well. Gets one, gets two, chases down the Tempest, and with that, there's just nothing left. There's nothing left here. Down to 2 Tempest. Down to 1. Tempest will survive. We're going to try to catch reinforcements. We're bleeding out a lot of Corruptors doing this. But we do find a carrier. Yeah, finds a carrier. Pulls away. Just ensures that Camu's army doesn't get any larger. We have a Link Flood behind this as well to shut down the ground setup. Side defense. And Yakov is fine. He's fine, Pat. Chasing down the Tempest. Oh, barely does not get it. Barely not. As we should be flooding more Lings behind this as well. As Lings, they do barely break through all those cannons. The Nexus will fall as well. Now we're switching into Void Rays. But it is a little bit late. Oof. And from it's just Camo just trying to survive. Meanwhile, Yang Yakov is almost maxed out. He's almost maxed out. We have the Hive on the way, more Corruptors. Oh, good to hear that personal showed up. Oh, let's go. Shut up. He can play, Pappy. He can play. It's good to hear. As we dive in the mothership is going to get 3 shots. Oof. And now we just commit. Catching out the Void Rays. There's only 2. Down to 0. 0 Void Rays. Again, it's still very difficult to just chase this army through cannons, and you can see that Yang Yakov doesn't really want to, but does barely almost pick up all the units. Yeah, the cannons they punish. And we back off, we do that again. We just so eventually Yang Yakov will break through. Eventually, Pappy. Find some aim. We can just go straight for the production. True. No cannons. We can camp the production. And he's baiting out the Void Rays to fight out of range of the cannons. Now they're being one-shots. Ay, ay, ay. Oh. Yeah, catching out more Voids. Oof. Catching out the final units in the sky. Lings, they do hit the third. GG gets called. Now Bailey's arrive, and Yang Yakov will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Young Yakov, he will claim the series. Shout out to Camo, by the way. As Camo, he is very much so an amateur player. I think he's diamond, by the way. Like, so for Camo to hold his own and even have some nice moments against Young Yakov was very, very impressive. GG, well played. As Young Yakov does claim the series, but again, shout out to Camo for taking place, for taking part, for signing up for the qualifiers, and getting into the ring with some of the best players in the world. GG, well played. Shout out to Camo. As Young Yakov just claimed the series, and with that, we're getting into our next matchup. We're going to be following Young Yakov into the quarterfinals. Let's go. Let us go. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at it yourselves. Let us head on over and catch up on said bracket. Okay. Here we go. Catching up with the brackets, we do have our quarterfinals. So, oh my god, we already have some matches getting underway. Percival does get a walkover win over Roxas. So we have Trigger versus Percival in the quarterfinals. They're currently mid-series, 6 minutes into their game. We have Trap in a PvP versus Nightmare. That's going to be a spicy one. That's a hard one to call. Wishing them both the best. Meanwhile, Silky versus Silver BV is still ongoing. And we have our next series. It's going to be Young Yakov versus Zaun. A fresh PvZ up next in the quarterfinals. Let's go. Let us go. So Young Yakov, he gets past one Protoss player, now up against another. The Protoss players, they get stronger and stronger from here on forward. Again, Zaun, he has been a little bit more practiced. I will say that based on his previous performance during the Woody TV Monday, during the RSL Americas qualifier, it did seem a little bit apparent that Zaun didn't really have too much experience on the new patch. Like, just comparing Zaun to Trigger, like, I loved like Trigger's approach to his PvT matches was very much so adapt to the patch when it comes to like gateway production. Zaun was playing very much so like last patch, so I'm curious to see if that trend continues here in this PvC. We'll see. We shall see. Curious to see how Zaun will approach. Curious. Just catching up. I believe first one 199 games. Crazy, puppy, crazy. So here we go. Bleak Soul / Oracle Opener is the safest way to play. I mean, if you've been watching StarCraft for the past couple of years, like Stargate play, Oracle into +1 and Blink is standard. If you haven't been watching as of late, earlier Blink play was a little more trendy these past couple of months, or basically the past 6 months. I'm referring to going for a Twilight Council, faster Twilight Council into a delayed Forge, delayed +1, earlier Blink into earlier Blink aggression. But now coming into the new patch, we have been seeing a lot more hyper aggression out of Protoss instead. The rationale for this is because specifically in ZVX matchups, whether it's ZVP or ZVT, playing standard isn't really as viable. So you either see two of the extremes, either hyper aggressive all-ins, or you see hyper defensive macro play. Like one or the other is kind of what we've been seeing from Terran and Protoss players alike. We've been seeing that from MaxPax, from Clem, from Maru, from Björn, Cure, from Hero, Classic. Like you do one or the other sort of thing. Playing standard is difficult to do now, but we'll see. We'll see how Zaun will approach it, as I have not casted Zaun's PvZ this patch. So we'll see how he's finding himself and how he does approach. Let's go. I want Young Yakov to cheese. I don't think Young Yakov needs to cheese. I'll be in my mind, at least, it's going to be the opposite here, where it's going to be Zaun being like hyper aggressive and going for all ins. But again, we'll see. We'll get into it. We will get into it. Catching up. Oh, so it looks like we have our lobby, and oh, is Shin gonna join us? Vámonos, papi. Ah, not quite. He's got his own series. Never mind. But Vitas are done. We're jumping into our fresh series here. It's going to be a PvZ between Xian and Young Yakov. And again, I'm curious to see how Xian has been approaching this patch. I mentioned earlier that he did look a little bit inexperienced in PvT, at least compared to some of the other Protoss players in the RSL Americas qualifier. But we'll see. It's been a day. It's been a day. Show us what you got. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing onside. It is Xian. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg player himself representing Stony Balls. It is Young Yakov. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome on all to At Attorney's Edge. This is a bit of a larger map of the map pool. It has two different ways to approach the map itself. You can expand here on the low ground, some more open bases heading towards the would-be gold expansion here on the low ground as well. Otherwise, you can expand on the high ground, close to rush distance to your opponent, push towards them, and take high yield gases instead into a more tech heavy start, into something more aggressive. So you do have kind of two different ways to approach this if you wish. For the most part though, we do expect players to expand in a more linear and a more safer fashion, I should mention. We'll keep an eye on our players. Let's go. Let us go. As I mentioned previously, we've been seeing a lot of Twilight Council heavy play over the past week. Again, the patch has been live for around a week at this point. So we've been seeing a lot of heavy Twilight Council plays. Speaking of a lot of Glaive Adepts, 8-gate Blink All-ins, or rushing into Sky Toss. I think a good example of that is MaxPax. Last night, in the Void TV Monday, MaxPax, he was playing non-stop, just mass Stargate into Void Ray, into Phoenix, into Void Ray, into Sky Toss, against Solar, with mixed success, to be fair. Going back to 2020, essentially, just going Void Ray openers and just mass Sky Toss. That's one of the approaches that some of the top Protoss players have been doing. So I think of MaxPax, Hero's doing the same, Classic as well. Hero did something different though. I preferred Hero's style of rushing Mothership, where he goes for a Mothership rush instead of going into mass Mass Phoenix. But has a similar idea for sure. Hero's build seemed a little bit more crisp and a little bit more creative for sure. We'll see. It's been a week. So now Hatch Gas Pool, standard open out of Young Yakov. Likewise, Xian is soon to be getting into his own tech based on the pylon placement. Looks like a Stargate opener out of Xian. From the side of Young Yakov, we're just expecting standard play into a third base in towards the mid game. That's when we can start to get aggressive here, getting into 3-base saturation, into laying Hydra. If we can play safe and going to Roaches as well, I would recommend safe builds and going into Roach play, just because we've been seeing so much Glaive Adepts. But I'm getting ahead of myself, as it is going to be the initial Stargate opener first. Now, the first thing that we're going to be waiting for here as we open up Stargate into a third is the timing of the Twilight Council. Based on that timing and based on whether or not we get the Forge, that'll tell us if we're going into Blink or into Glaives or into earlier charge. So we'll keep an eye on Xian. Otherwise, we are settling in. Adeptos threaten the shade. Keeping tabs here on Yakov. Yakov does actually stay in gas. Okay, so link speed stays in gas. Is going to be the Void Ray opener. With this, Xian can hide his build. He can hunt down the Overlords and deny vision. This doesn't mean that it has to be a rush into a second Stargate into Sky Toss, or it doesn't have to be like a Twilight Council into Glaives, but it can be. The thing here, of course, is that Young Yakov is going to have to guess as to what's coming his way. Or he'll have to fight a little bit and work a little bit harder to piece together what exactly is going on. Ooh, Adepts commit to the shade. Yeah, it does commit in. Queen getting in position. And so far, no economic damage. It's going to be Void Ray into Oracle. The Overlord does try to get the scout off. Heads in, fails the scout, so the Oracle is coming. And Yakov may be tempted to skip. I was going to say to skip spores. He already has one spore in the main base. No spore at the natural, but there are 2 queens. As long as he's in position, he should keep up with the Oracle. Should. Meanwhile, that is a Twilight Council before 3rd expansion. So early Twilight Council, early tech, early aggression. Once again, as you mentioned, we are waiting to see if we go for a Forge. 2 more gateways get thrown down as well. So we're getting up to 4 gateways here in total. This can still be Blink, but otherwise we're expecting Glaive Adepts. Is it Glaives? Is it Blink? Show us what you got. Regardless, it is going to be hyper aggressive just because there is no Forge alongside this. We're not really thinking further ahead. We're rushing Hydras? Oh god. He's crazy. Very fast. I was curious what the early gas income was for. Fast layer into a very fast Hydra den. 2 base Hydra to Young Yakov, no 3rd in sight. That's kind of crazy. Glaive Adepts are coming, by the way, and I think Zaun may just kill. As we mentioned before, like, the lack of Forge screams Glaive Adepts. We've been seeing, and I alluded to this at the start of the series, we've been seeing a lot of Glaive Adepts here in this patch to end the game early. But because we're not going for a safety Roach Warren or a safety Bailey Nest, it's going to be a Ling Hydra defense. Adepts can just fight this head up, like straight up. They can just fight it. They can just overwhelm. So this is going to be a very messy defense here from Young Yakov, especially considering this is off of 2 bases, so the army's going to be smaller as well. We'll see. We'll see. It will come down to the engage. It will come down to the initial surround and how, if we can catch the Adepts or not. For now, we do have our regular Adepts applying pressure. Behind this, going to Phoenixes, 2nd Stargate into Sky Toss. So we're seeing everything that the meta has kind of evolved into. I mentioned earlier that in PvZ, we're typically seeing either like hyper aggressive all-ins, which begins with Glaive Adepts, or we see like just Sky Toss, and we have both here, which we're not really too used to seeing, to be fair. 3rd base is going to be denied. Del's Force I cancel. Del's Force I cancel, and Yakov is being forced into an all-in essentially. Again, no 3rd expansion this late in the game is crazy. It's crazy, pappy. Let's say bust into the mineral line, catching up 5, 6, 7 drones. Oh, this is getting out of hand. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. And again, Zaun setting up defensively, warping in more Adepts, building up more Phoenixes, and here comes the all-in from Young Yakov. Again, has been forced into an all-in, no 3rd base in sight. It's all or nothing. And is this going to be enough? How many do we have? 16 Hydras. I mean, Phoenixes won't help. Like, this is dead supply, to be honest. Like, these Phoenixes, what are they going to do? Lift up 1 Hydra at a time? Like, so the Phoenixes are dead supply. It's going to be purely an Adept defense with the batteries. Cybercore goes down. No more Adepts. Ooh, massive pickup. This might just be too much. He can't warp in. Yeah, no. The Bailey, oh my god, the Baileys, they connect. No splits whatsoever. Insane connections. And Young Yakov has done it. He has broken the 3rd base. Ay, ay, ay. The Baileys, they got the juiciest connections possible, and with that, the 2-base all-in is working. He stutter steps in, depowers the gateways. Again, there's still no Cybercore anyway. Adepts, they do get across. Jesus, oh my god, 3 Adepts, they kill everything. A handful of Adepts do get across the map and will kill the entire mineral line, so that does complicate things a little bit, but the main army cannot be stopped. So the main army cannot be stopped. As I mentioned, Phoenixes that had supplied, they do not help. They don't help, Pappy. They do nothing. Ah. Shout out to the MVP triple Adept, by the way, as they're still wreaking havoc. Like, they're still target firing as well. Like, it's crazy. Again, this army should still kill. GG gets called, and Yakov takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Yakov, he will take a lead in the series. I do have to be a little bit critical here of Zaun. So Zaun's build made more sense, but if you remember, he scouted the Hydra Den. Zaun, when he shaded in with his first couple of Adepts, he saw the Hydra Den. Like, he was aware of that, but he still made Phoenixes behind it, which is what weirded me out. Like, I was a little bit confused, being aware of the Hydra tech that was building up and still going mass Phoenix. And of course, he forced the 2-base all-in as well, as he was denying the 3rd. So it was an interesting tech choice, but it did hurt it hurt Zaun more than anything, right? As opposed to having like a robo, with immortal production or extra gateways, extra warp bins, or anything else. Unfortunately, he was stuck producing units that were not going to help in the defense, and with that, GG well played. In the end, yeah, Yakov just snowballed out of control, was able to break on through, and with that, Yakov takes a lead in the series. Let's go. Let us go. As we are loading into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the red Protoss player representing Onside Gaming down to the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Zaun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player representing Stouty Bulls. It is Young Yakov. Let's go. Let us go. Made 10 depths and sorted into double Stargate when he scouted Hydras. Yes, as we mentioned, like Zaun, he saw the Hydra den, he was aware of the Hydras, but not just that, he was also aware of the low base count because he was actively denying the third, right? So like he was aware of the low economy, low base count, and the tech as well, but still made the decision to go into Phoenixes, which was a little bit odd. It felt like it felt a little bit like Zaun had an idea as to what he wanted to do in the game when it came to his overall build, and he just kind of like stuck to it regardless of scouting. So he just kind of like dismissed what he was seeing and still just committed to the build anyway. It was a little bit tunnel visiony there from Zaun. Tunnel vision a little bit too much, and a little bit too rigid in his play, if you will. A little bit too rigid. But here we go. We're getting into game 2. Loading into game 2 here. So far it is going to be once again a hatch gas pool out of Young Yakov, and we'll see what Zaun has up his sleeve this time. Once again, we're expecting something quirky, so maybe Stargate opener into Glaives again, and this time into a heavier commitment into Glaives, or we could see Stargate into Fleet Beacon, into Mothership Rush, charge base all-ins, heavy commitment to like a 3 base like blink based all-in. We'll see what Zaun has up his sleeve for game 2. Let's go. Because already game 1 like exceeded my expectations. Like I was concerned it was going to play standard, but no, he spiced things up in a pretty crazy way. for better or for worse. A little spicy at least. You missed Downey in the end. Oh, you mean Stanier? Stanier balls? Ah, look, I just... What do you want from me? Aye. For now, we're just going to be building on up. From here, getting to a tech of choice. Based on the pylon placement, looks like a Stargate opener out of Zaun. We'll keep an eye on him, of course. Likewise, Yakov, he this time pulls out a gas. If you recall last time, Yakov stayed in gas, which is what led into the fast hydrogen. Fast layer. I still want to bring us back here to young Yakov's build. Remember, Yakov was not playing standard. He stayed in gas after getting link speed. I noticed he only had like 9 workers on low ground, and he got into a very fast layer into 2 base hydra. Like, it was crazy. Like Yakov, he was also crazy last game, to be fair. Got scouted, but not standard. As there's that Stargate. This time Young Yaku going for much more standard third base timing, as this time he's not spending his workers mining gas. So this is looking a lot more normal from Young Yakov. Now, if it is going to be a little bit more normal, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a very small map in the map pool. Short rush distance by ground, aggression is favored on this map, and the third base and fourth base locations are much more open and accessible. What we have seen be very successful from Zerg players, even in the previous patch, is 3 base all-ins, referring to cutting workers at 66, at around 66 workers, and then you just commit with either Ling Hydra or Roach Ravager, and even German taxis have been mixed in as well on this map. So that is going to be a viable option here for Young Yakov, and we'll see what he does decide to go for. For now, we're expecting just droning, saturation, and then we'll see the tech of choice. And it is going to be a safety. Oh, I say safety. Hidden Roach Horn here behind the main base. Okay. So Hidden Roach Horn at a Young Yakov. Now we know it's going to be more Roach heavy. Meanwhile, Stargate into a third. This time it's a third base before the tech of choice. Last game it was tech first. This time expansion first. So greedy build out of Zaun. Oh, nice damage with the Oracle. Punishing Queens being out of position. Roach Horn has yet to be scouted. I mentioned German taxi earlier, and whoa, okay. I was about to say. He's crazy. Does cancel Burrow in the end. I was about to freak out. Roach production has begun. No lair in sight. This is looking like a hatch tech all-in. Third base just for larva. This is just for larva. No drones, no saturation, only lings and roaches, and the all-in will come across the map. Oracles, they poke in, they're going to be deflected, and Zound still has not scouted the main base. Zound still has no idea. And here comes the all-in. Yeah, here comes the all-in. Zound is playing blind. Behind this, the third base is under fire. Twilight Council gets thrown down, and oh, no gateways? Only two? Late gateways here, and likewise late tech of choice. Blink is on the way with 2 gateway setups. We can warp in 2 units at a time. Okay, let's go. Roaches get spotted, the all-in is coming, and we'll see if Zound can hold. We'll see if Zound can survive. Yakovi moves in. Collapsing on the Adepts. We'll shut them down. Some of them do shade away though. Nice control. Batteries, they're still not yet done. The Oracles, they're going ham here, doing what they can. They do focus down the Lings. But the Stalkers, they still do fall. The army does break through. The Oracles are doing so much damage here from the sky. Triple Oracle, they'll focus everything down eventually. And I don't think there are enough roaches. Yeah, there's not enough on the ground. Probes are starting to fall though. Getting to 7, 8 probe kills. But Zound will hold. Again, the MVP Oracles, they kill everything, baby. They kill everything. And with that, Zound, he does hold, does survive. Behind this, Young Yakov, he was droning up heavily behind this, getting up to 55 workers and going for the lair as well. So in the end, Young Yakov, he was able to force a reaction, force out all these batteries, get some economic damage done, trade with the army as well, and disrupt the build. I say disrupt the build, all these gateways are late. The gateways are late, the forge is late, +1 is late. So Zound, his build has been disrupted quite heavily. And the supplies are close for now, but that's only because Yakov has been droning the entire time. Soon he can start army production. He can soon start his army. The Oracles do have a lot of potential though. Okay, we can just focus on the Spore. We can fight the Queens. Oracles that make the way towards the third. Going for the stasis. Oh, nice reaction by Yakov. Does react well. No drone kills, denying mining here at the gas. Queens try to respond, there's no creep connecting the bases, so a bit of an awkward response here from Yakov. Oh no! It was 1, 2, 3 drones. 3 drones go down, and Zound, he is rushing into the fleet beacon, rushing into Sky Toss. Now, Zound did go for a bit of a gateway explosion, so he can now start to be active with Blink Stalkers. He needs to be active to buy time, to distract, to trade with the army, while embracing the mothership and embracing something greater. I believe this should just be a mothership rush. Only 1 Stargate. Yeah, he's going for charge, so it's going to be a gateway composition alongside the mothership. Stalkers, they poke in. Hydras are amassing. They have no upgrades. As Ling's Athens coming from behind. Oh, the Queens! Yeah, late reaction there by Yakov. 1 Queen does go down. Gets 1. Gets 2. As we go, catching out 2 Queens, catching out Hydras. The space is going to fall. And again, Yakov, he still needs more time to build up his army. Yeah, cannot engage. Not like this. And if given time, Zound, he can start to snowball out of control, right? The mothership has begun. Charge is going to be kicking in. Like, Zound is in this game, for sure, 100%. If not even winning this game. Like, I would argue that Zound has the better economy at the moment. Stronger economy for Zound. Fourth base is spotted. Zound attempted to move out. Temptations there. Storm is on the horizon. Oh, Yakov is teching. I wasn't sure if he would. Considering just how delayed Yakov has been, losing his 4th base, it's a big delay here for Yakov. His growth has been stifled quite heavily. Is deciding to tech up. Infestation Pit into Hive Tech, droning as well. This means that Zound will be able to get into Charge, +2, and Storm. Like, all this tech will be able to kick in. So Zound is building up into the mid game. He's getting there. Meanwhile, Young Yakov is taking up in towards Lurker Tech. Hive on the way, Lurkers, Hive Tech Lurkers on the horizon. Who do we favor here? So there is going to be a bit of a power spike with Lurker tech. That is true, but at the same time, we already have Tempest in production. It's only one Stargate, so it's a bit of a slow transition into Tempest and into Sky Toss. Because of that, like it's hard to really judge like how hard it's going to hit and when it's going to hit. Until then, Lurkers can try to buy time, assuming that Zound stays defensive. As he still has to wait for Storm. Lurker Den is almost done. I would usually say that there's a window in time here where Zound can try to break out and try to kill Yang Yakov before Hive Tech Lurkers, before the Hive upgrade's complete. That is true, but again, I don't know if Zound really wants to push at the moment. As he's getting a second Stargate, more Tempest. Yang Yakov is maxed out. Now, bearing in mind that he may be maxed, but he is stuck with some inefficient army supply or some inflated supply with all these roaches, right? There's still a lot of roaches from the early to mid game, so the supply does lie. The soup is lying to you, pappy. Moves in. Snipes the Cybercore. This army should be shut down. To get the Cybercore at least. Can be turned away. So Rumbai will distract the main army. Lurkers are trying to push in. Ooh, a little bit messy control here by Yakov. He wants to push in. He wants to go for the fourth base. At the same time, though, he will lose drones. Yeah, messy here from Yakov. Drones are going down. Heavy losses. He thought that he had left some supply to defend. Storm connects. Does get the expansion, though, but is it worth it? Oof. As Yakov here loses Lurkers. Oof, massive storm on the army. And we will trigger a counterattack. This should trigger a counterattack here as Zound, he dominates the fight. 21 drone kills across the map. That one Zelarumbai killing so many workers over a mineral line, and that might just be too much. Here comes the main army. Zound, he counterattacks. He's built up his High Templar, his Storm, got a couple of Tempest. And Yakov has to defend with purely Roach Hydra. A very mid-tier army. So again, Yakov down in supply, down in quality of army is maybe a better way of putting it. So I'll say move in. Sounds still rotating. Just clearing up all the creep, securing the map. There is one Viper, so we can try to abduct. I say try to because obviously we can counter feedback. Oh, yeah, yes. Yakov, he attempts to dive. He attempts to dive in. At this point, Zoundy's built up his Death Bull of an army. He's got his Death Bull. Massive abductions, so let's get a Tempest. Ooh, oh, no. They'll stay to the storms, they soften up the army. Ay. Yeah, brutal storm. And we can see Yakov, he's still trying to drone. He's still droning up to around 80 workers, trying to reach peak saturation. Again, very late. Switching to Corruptors. Now, what I will say is that Zound was surprisingly passive there. After knocking down this base, Zound backed off, he rotated, it cleared creep, and then went back home. I do think that he could have rotated over towards this southern base and knocked down another fourth, or kept pushing into the natural to force a bad fight. Remember, there are no Lurkers, there's only one Tempest, so I do think that Zound's passivity here, or his, I say passivity, maybe just his lack of confidence, is giving Yang Yakov the opportunity to build up, to max out, and to try to have a chance in this game to recover. It's still an uphill battle, very much so. Like, it's still mass Hydra, like, it's not ideal. Like, and thankfully, Zoundy comes back. Yeah, he comes back, mass storms, Hydras, they cannot touch this army. Corruptors, they try to move in, nice flank, but there's a cloak. Cloak is activated. Zound pulls away. Does pull away, and again, because of the time provided, Young Yakov has built up some Corruptors. Now he has some actual anti-air against the Skytoss army. Remember, there aren't that many Tempests. 4 Tempests, no other Skytoss units. A lack of lurkers is brutal though. Yeah, drones are going down. 19 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. Storm with the Roach Hydra. Another base falls. Yakov just still cannot engage. Yeah, desperation here out of Young Yakov. Won't find any damage here. And I think there's only one lurker? Yeah, it's literally one lurker. There's a revelation. Don't be scared, Pappy. Don't be scared. You can do it. They're catching the Corruptors. They move in a little bit too soon. Storm on the Hydras. Army rotates. We have the one lurker moving in. Oh, Hydras are coming from behind. We attempt to surround. Best case scenario here for Young Yakov. He surrounds with the Hydras. I believe there's no more storms. Yeah, no more storms. The Skytoss army does crumble. And again, the best fight that Young Yakov could have hoped for. He will barely clean this up. The one lurker survived, by the way. The one lurker. Let's go. Again, the best fight I could have hoped for is Zealots. They still overwhelm. They still overwhelm the Zealots. Zound still breaks through. It's still too much. And with that, Young Yakov, his economy is just crumbling. It's just crumbling here before the mass charge lots. 8 more drones going down. Zound, he has 80 workers behind this, getting another expansion up and running as well. Yakov, he survived, but there's not much behind this. Oh. Yo, that one lurker is still alive, by the way. It's just so that's across the map. Got 4 more lurkers morphing in. Yakov remaxed on 13 Hydras, 6 Roaches. There are a couple of extra lurkers which can help. They'll side with a Tempest, true. Gets 1 Tempest. Trying to bait out the storms. Lurker's gonna be moving in. There is no detection. And lurkers, they do get on top of the High Templar. Oh my god! The High Templar going to be going down. That's what, 3 Templar falling. He gets 4. Can we get 5? He can. One Templar left. And no storm, and no show. Young Yakov, he's trying to break through. He still can't touch the Tempest. But he's fighting as best he can. Ah, no. Yeah, he's doing what he can here. He's out of anti-air. He's out of anti-air. GG gets called. And Zound, he will tie the series 1-1. We're going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. A very messy kind of finale here to the game. Again, very, very messy. Zound, he had built up his Death Wolf army quite early on. I still stand by the idea of Zound maybe finding more damage earlier, but he was playing very tentatively, if you will, playing very safe. It did give Young Yakov the opportunity to max out and to build up into Corruptors. And again, as we mentioned, we saw the best fight that we could have hoped for Young Yakov, where he surrounded the army with a full 360 surround of Hydras. The best he could have hoped for still wasn't enough, still lost the fight. Hydras still broke through, still killed workers. That's all that Young Yakov had. GG. GG, well played. I should say that the lead up to that, of course, was just really brutal. Specifically the 4th base. If you remember, the 4th base was heavily delayed for Young Yakov. And his 3-base saturation was solid, but his 4th base was very delayed. He tried to double expand. He was losing a lot of workers. It was just a very shaky mid game there from Young Yakov and never really got the ball going. GG. GG. With that, we're getting into the ace match. Going to be loading into game number 4. Let's go. Only 4 kills, yeah. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of the Old Sun Temple, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. We have the South Korean Protoss representing onside. It is Zound. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself representing Stony Bulls. It is Young Yakov. Let's go. Let's go. I see in the chat, a new patch, old maps. That is incorrect. So welcome to the Old Sun Temple. The Old Sun Temple is one of the newer maps in the map pool, a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top left, top right, bottom left, or bottom right. So 4 possible spawn locations. To help with scouting, though, we do have some speed zones. Speed zones in the center of the map. This does help with worker scouting. We'll see if our players can find each other, as Young Yakov does scout the top right-hand corner first with the Overlord. And we'll see if the probe does head out. But yes, I should clarify that the RSL does use a custom map pool voted on by Patreon. So if you want to help influence the maps of the RSL, you can do so via their Patreon. Their patrons do vote on what maps to add and what maps to remove. So that's why if you look at the map pool for RSL, it's a little bit more unique. Has some new maps, has some old maps, have some TLMC maps that never made it to the ladder, for example. It has its own map pool that's been constructed over time. So voted on by their patrons. Roach Queen all in? No, it was not a German taxi. Remember, there was no lair, which is why it was not a Roach Queen all in. There was no lair. It was a Hatch Tech all in with a Ling Roach. No queens. See, Trap is back. If you missed Doyo Cup last week, we were casting Trap. He did compete in Doyo Cup, which is a big offline event happening in China. And we did take note of it earlier, but it is exciting to see that after Doyo Cup last week, Trap, he signed up for this qualifier. Now, does this mean that Trap is actually returning to competitive play? I don't think so. I think it's too soon to really say that with any certainty. For those who remember, the reason why he retired, it was relatively recently, like last year, is because Trap is a pappy. He's a pappy. Trap, I believe he has a baby daughter who's now like a year old, I think. But he retired to, you know, look after his family, to start a family, I should say, even as well. To step into the next phase of his life. So whether he's playing just for fun or whether he intends to return, hard to say at the moment. Hard to say with Trap. But this is a sign of that, and we'll see if he signs up for more Open Cups or more tournaments throughout the course of the next couple of weeks. So is Trap back? Maybe. is the short answer. Maybe. We'll see. For now, though, Stargate opener out of Sound. Yakov does finally find the location here of Zound as well, with said Overlord. Does find him, Hatchgas Pool, joining up back at home. Kid is 1 year old. He can take care of himself. True. Anyway, where Silky versus Maru is shown, that should be casted over on Ryung's channel. Ryung is casting in Korean. So I believe Ryung is casting Maru's matches because they're teammates, of course. And I think Shin is casting some matches as well in Korean. So there should be 2 other Korean streams, Ryung and Shin, on their respective channels. Otherwise, a Void Ray opener out of Zound. Can't sound the Overlord. And we'll see if Zound goes into Glaive Adepts again, if he rushes in towards second Stargates. Whether we play standard. I mean, especially because we have diagonal spawns, by the way. I should emphasize that. Due to cross spawns, we could try to rush into Skytals. Like, the idea of being more defensive and building up into that later tech army is now much more viable for Zound, because it's going to be harder for Young Yakov to all in him, to try to kill him early. So we do have a long rush distance by ground. Eyes are on Zound. As it is going to be lair first here by Yakov. Does open up with the lair. Void does hit the third. Queens, they attempt to respond. I believe we do have adepts coming towards the left-hand side at the same time. And we'll see if Yakov can keep up. Can he keep up? Adepts take third in the shade. Drones are going to start going down. Getting 1. Just 1. Nice around here. Nice engage. Yeah, one drone does full. Adepts gets routed. Void deflected, and Yakov is holding. Oh, can he get a kill? Not quite, barely. No, there's no queen in the main, but despite that, Yakov, he will still hold, still defend, and the Oracle barely escapes with 1 HP. The 1 HP Oracle. Ay. The Void Ray, ooh, does not get away. So Zaun does overextend. Massive pickoff. I believe the Void Ray killed one Overlord. Only one Overlord, so not worth it there for Zaun. And it does overextend and does fly too close to the sun there. Behind this, going for the earlier Twilight Council into earlier Blink into a late Forge. Okay, so later Forge here tells us that Zaun, he will be able to be active and aggressive early on with Blink to apply pressure to the 4th base. And we'll see what he can get done. At the same time, no battery. Yeah, no battery to defend. Oracle's out of position, racing back home, which means Adepts will go down, losing 1, 2, 3 Adepts and even Probes. Yeah, some heavy losses here for Zaun. Ay. Whole position micro on the Lings, catching out 3 Probes. Pulls away behind this, going for the Spire. Going into Muta tech. So Lingbane Muta out of Young Yakov. Checking Yakov's vision, he did see the Twilight Council follow-up. He is aware. Remember, Blink is going to be done earlier than normal, but it's a shaky early game here from from Zaun. It's been very shaky. Losing the Void Ray, losing Adepts, losing Probes. The early game has been disrupted. And the Mutas will get up and running unscouted as well. On the one hand, we will have plenty of Blink Stalkers to help keep up with Muta play, that is true, but at the same time, because of lack of scouting and lack of vision, because there's only one Oracle, remember it was a Void Ray opener into Oracle, so less Oracles to scout and to get vision of what's going on, and it's also 1 HP, so he doesn't want to risk going too far in. It means that there won't be any stack defense in the mineral lines, right? It means the natural and the main base is going to be more exposed. Here comes a Fleet Beacon. We mentioned earlier the idea of rushing into Skytos makes more sense based on the spawn locations, but it's still been a shaky start, and we'll see if Zaun can get away with it. We'll see. +1 flyer attack is on the way. Hydrogen as well. Interesting. Zaun does scout the Hydrogen at least. And here come the Mutas. Jesus. Yeah, Zaun, he will not confirm. The fake out Hydrogen. Let's go. And Mutas are amassing. You're amassing that potential here to deal critical damage. Just like last game, it's going to be Mothership first, then into a ground army, into like a delayed, like slower transition into Tempest is my imagining here. Yep, just like last time. Charge into Storm. But how many worker losses will Zaun sustain once the Mutas arrive? Shows the Mutas. Yakov, he does start to move out. Unlike last game, Yakov, he's actually on a 4-base economy. He's on 4 bases, taking his gases, droning. Despite getting early Blink, Zaun hasn't really been able to apply much pressure with these Blink Stalkers. Yeah, not much. Now he knows. Yeah, now he sees, now he knows. Mutas are revealed. Now it's go time. There's a recall back home. Yeah, it does recall. Cannons are being thrown down. Mutas make their way into the main. Stalker's trying to keep up. We rotate back down to the 3rd. Blink is on cooldown. No! Blink is on cooldown. They're stuck in the main base. Not much damage here yet. Lings, they do go for the cannons, actually. Yeah, the Oracle goes down and gets 1. Bailings, they roll in. Oof. Cleric can be activated. And the 3rd base is safe. Nice timing here with the Mothership. And so far, no major damage yet with the Mutas, but the 4th base is exposed. It does head over. Going for the expansion. And should force a cancel. Yeah, should force that cancellation. Cloak does run out. There's that cancel. Stuck on 3 bases. Mutas, they have to respect the Archons. They gotta respect them. Oh, what the... Was he moving forward? Yeah, some awkward control. A little bit awkward out of Young Yakov. Lings amassing here on the top side. And still nothing major. Lings, they do threaten to dive. Nice warp in. Does warp in time. Mutas into the main. Behind this, Karate production has begun. And we're diving on the Fleet Beacon. Okay. Yeah, denying Annual Pulse Crystals. Denying Phoenix Range. Phoenix Range is denied. Bangs, they roll in. No reaction. Ooh, no reaction. Massive connections here. 8 probes go down. 1 more Bailing is all we needed. Automass. Yeah, just 1 more Bailing. Despite that, still nice damage. Mutas, they make their way over. Cloak is activated. Cloak does save the mineral line. But again, Zaun is struggling. And Yakov is maxed. He's maxed out. He's going to be remaxing with Hydrotech. Okay. mixing in a couple of Hydras, a couple of Corruptors. I would argue that Yakov should be looking to trade as best he can to make use of this army. Jesus, Yakov is on 94 drones. Oh my god. I was curious. I was like, why is the army so small? Ah, I see. 94 workers. I would say at this point it's hurting Yakov more than helping him. Yakov pulls away. Pulls away, setting up for the flank. The scary thing here for Zaun is that because the map is so large, and because of specifically the spawn locations, it means that Yakov can take a fight and take a bad fight as well, and there won't really be a counterattack to threaten him, right? Like, it'll take too long to counterattack and to get across the map. By the time Zaun does, Yakov can remax. Bailey's gonna roll in. They catch up the ground army. Decent trades. Clerk is activated. Defensive main army. At the same time, use they hit for the mineral line. They hit the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. Zaun is being pulled apart. And Zaun will clean up this army, but as we mentioned, because it just takes so long to get across the map, Yakov can just remax. He can just remax, rebuild. He'll be fine. He has 94 probes, puppy. 94 drones. Of course he can remax. Yeah, Zaun, he's all in. At this one, he's all in. F2ing across the map. What else can he do? We're going to just send it. Oof. Cloak is on cooldown. Slow zone is not. True. There's our slow zone. Again, it's all or nothing with Zaun. This is his moment. This is it. It's time. As everything does race back home to defend. Jesus, the cooldown on Cloak is insane. Like, he's Music trying to come in from behind. Music gets shut down by the Archons. Oh my god. So many Archon shots going off. And do we have enough here for the Protoss? Oh, Mothership falls. Some more Stalkers coming in. Zaun is gaining ground. Remember earlier how we were like, hey, the high drone count is hurting Yakov? It is. Like, it as Yakov knows, he has 13 Hydras on the way. He needs more time. He needs more time. Zaun, he breaks the expansion. He's close. He just has to keep going. The longer this goes on, the better it is for young Yakov, but Zaun has the bigger army. Straight up. He has the bigger army. Has a larger force. Young Yakov is in trouble. He's in trouble. Oh. As Banes didn't quite connect. Yeah, a little bit messy here by young Yakov. He will lose every single drone. 26 drones going down. Bailey's going to do smash into Zealots at least, but Zaun has done it. Yeah, Zaun has done it. Breaks through the main army. Again, the remax was not in time, and it wasn't enough of a remax either. And with purely Zealots, Zaun can do it. And again, this could have gone either way. It was close, it was clutch, but Zaun will overwhelm. We got the boys there. We got GG. GG, and Zaun, he will claim the series 2-1. He will advance on to a qualifying match. GG. GG, well played. Zaun, he will advance on. Again, young Yakov, he was playing that very well. He was playing it well. He was crippling Zaun. He was knocking down bases, crippling the economy, and he forced Zaun into the all-in. As I mentioned, young Yakov, he had 94 drones. He had a heavy drone count, which meant that he had a smaller army as a result. He had so much supply spent in workers, a smaller army as a result, and he could not defend, could not hold on. GG. GG, well played. With that, Zaun will claim the series, and now we're getting into the qualifying match. Zaun in good shape, as I said. If you're implying that was an easy series from Zaun, you're insane. Very impressive play by young Yakov, I would say. Typically, I would favor Zaun over young Yakov, and I would say there was like a bigger gap in skill, even if you will. But here, like, this was a very close series, and definitely a world where young Yakov takes down Zaun instead. But GG. GG, well played. Zaun does claim it, and I believe that leads us into a PvP qualifying match. Let's go. Let us go. As we have Percival. Ooh, Percival, he takes down Trigger 2-0 to advance on to the upper bracket qualifying match. Meanwhile, we have Zaun versus Nightmare about to unfold in the PvP. Okay. So it's going to be a PvP here. Again, Nightmare, he's been very inactive as of late. Very, very inactive. Still in form enough to take down Trap. True, takes down Trap 2-0. But Nightmare, he hasn't really been competing in as many tournaments, so Zaun is coming in as the favorite player. But we'll see. I mean, a PvP, anything can happen, to be honest. Like, it's going to be a PvP. It's going to be very chaotic, very intense, very aggressive. So we'll see who is able to come out on top in said aggression. Let's go. Let us go. As we're getting ready for that best of 5. Let's go. Likewise, if you want to tune into Silky versus Maru, I believe that's being covered by... I thought it was Ryung, but Ryung is out of game. Never mind. Yeah, I thought Ryung was covering that, but it's possible that that maybe it's not being casted. If so, my apologies. But I remember both semifinals, both qualifying matches will be casted. They'll both be on stream. And it's looking to be like 2 mirror matchups. Oh boy. Ryung is covering this as well. Ah, I see. There you go. Catching up. So live or via replay? Live. I'm baffled that Yakov lost that series. I mean, as we mentioned, like, there were a couple of missteps there from young Yakov, like overjoining, smaller army, lower supply, right? It's like it was that did lead into some brutal engagements, of course, where things could have otherwise gone a little bit better. But yeah, crazy. GG. Also, if you're a fan of Young Yakov, don't fret. He will have another chance to qualify during the European qualifier. Yesterday was the Americas qualifier, today's the Korean qualifier, and I believe tomorrow is the European qualifier. So there's still another qualifier available after this. And then there's the Patreon voting as well. There's the voting on Patreon. For those that are curious, the Patreons of the RSL Patreon, they do have the power to vote on their favorite player. So after the qualifiers conclude, they can vote on their favorite player, and then they can be invited into the event through that voting process. So there's a couple of other chances. Also about engagement, the mutas. Yeah. The mutas, they got like 2-shot. But let's go. We're here we go. We are getting ready here for our best of 5 qualifying match here. It is going to be a PvP between Zaun and Nightmare. And when it comes to PvP, at least from our experiences so far, especially for a lot of the mirror matchups, hasn't really changed too much at all, actually. So kind of have similar expectations to the previous patch as well, in regards to 2-gate openers, in regards to proxies, in regards to potentially greedier builds, and the same composition in the mid to late game as well. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing onside. It is Zaun. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, representing Streamer Zone from South Korea. It is Nightmare. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Un momento. As I do have to close out the previous predictions. Un momento, papi. There we go. So if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. As we settle into our best of 5. So we will have one Protoss player here confirmed for RSL. Will it be Zaun or Nightmare? Up to you to decide here. Coming into this, I do want to say that Zaun is favored on paper, but again, it's PvP. It can be very chaotic, it can be very intense. Upsets can and do happen in PvP, so this is where Nightmare can show off what he's made of. He already 2-0 trap in this qualifier. We'll see how he compares to Zaun. Here we go. I also mentioned as well that Nightmare, he is one of the least active players out there. Like, he doesn't really play in many open tournaments or online cups, not like he did previously. Again, he was very active like in 2024, 2025-ish era of StarCraft. Nightmare was playing at everything, but this year in 2026, Nightmare has kind of eased up a little bit and is now a little bit more infrequent when it comes to his participation in tournaments. So it's always a little bit harder to gauge Nightmare's current level of strength, just because he's less active than he used to be. But regardless, we're settling in. It's going to be an initial 2-gate opener here by Nightmare. Likewise, oh, hello, we're going for a gate cyber expand. So Zaun is going to cut some corners and be very, very greedy here instead. And it's going to be up to Nightmare to punish that greed, or to even to confirm what's going on. Here comes the probe scout. So second pylon is inside of the main base of both players. This means that there is no proxy initially. Nightmare comes in with the probe and may even try to delay the expansion. Can go for the pylon block. Pokes up the ramp. And does confirm, actually, sorry, double gas opener. This means it should be tech before expand. Does confirm the gases, and the one gateway should be Stargate, followed by the Nexus. But regardless, greedier build here from Zaun. And eyes are on Nightmare's probe to see how he responds. There's that Stargate, as we mentioned. Again, double gas. Dead moves out. Adolescent Yakov, let's go. Yes, yes. Next time, Pappy, next time. Hey, performed well. Played well. From here, we can see Zaun trying to slip past and trying to slip by. Get spotted. We'll shade in towards the main base, but the probe is in position to block. It does work in time. Eyes are still on this worker. Zaun as well. As Zaun is playing very safe, actually. He's going for a gateway and a shield battery before expanding, but a big reason for this, I believe, is because there's still no expansion elsewhere either. So Zaun is afraid that there's an all-in coming his way. There is a proxy pylon for both players, but Zaun is scared to expand. As you can see here, like, this is a big reaction. Yeah, big reaction. We do have a third gateway being thrown down, so I mean, for good reason. It is heavy gateway aggression here by Nightmare. But he'll see no expansion, and there's a Void Ray on the way. So Nightmare shouldn't really get much done here. And should look to, I mean, I say should look to expand. He does warp in. Yeah, the fast warp in's true. Got the faster warp ins. Does make his way up the ramp. The Void Ray is only halfway done. We can push in. Yeah, we can push in. We can break on through here. The Void Ray, it's going to be too late. It does get one Stalker. Boys are being pulled. We have to buy more time. He has to buy time. Oh my god. Yeah, at the same time the Oracle's popping off. Jesus, 10 probes go down across the map. We're getting rowdy. We're getting rowdy, pappy. Okay, so 10 probe kills, the Oracle's out of energy. Void Ray does go down. Battery's out of energy as well. The Stalkers, they should have rolled the remaining army here of Zaun. Zaun down to 1 Stalker. Down to 1. And now down to 0. Yeah, down to 0 here. GG. GG gets called. Nightmare takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Winding it back. Remember, we spoke about how Zaun was going for a greedier build, and we were expecting an all-in Nightmare, something that I didn't quite consider. So when it comes to all-ins in the previous patch, typically the sign for me is to go for a committed proxy, robo, gateway. But because of how warp gate works, you don't need to proxy your gateways anymore. True. So, so he just got his third gateway back at home, got the proxy pylon across the map instead, and now we can just go for the fast warp ins with just the pylon, committed into a one base all-in with 3 gateways, and with that he was able to overwhelm. We saw that Zaun was trying to set up defensively, but his Void Ray was a little bit too little too late. It did go Oracle first, then Void Ray, and alas, if you remember, he also had a delayed second gateway as well. So he only had 1 gateway for so long. GG. GG, well played. In the end, he was overwhelmed, and now we're getting to game number 2. Let's go. So that is something that I have to bear in mind when it comes to PvP and how it's changed in this patch, is the less committed proxy, as a singular pylon is as good as a proxy pylon with a gateway. True. Here we go. In the bottom hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss representing onside. Down in the series, it is Zaun. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Nightmare. And welcome one and all to Rorschach. Now, Rorschach is a very small map of the map pool. Short rush distance by ground, aggression is favored on this map, and to the point where you don't need to proxy to all in on this map. Referring to proxy like robo play, for example, like you can get it back at home and still one base all in a very strong fashion. So aggression's favored here, and we'll see if Zaun plays standard this time. Remember, Zaun did decide to delay his gateway production and delay his gateway army in favor of greed, in favor of attempted faster tech and faster expand. Especially on Rorschach, I feel like you have to go for 2 gate openers, like no shot. Like 2 gate openers, I feel like have to be the norm here on maps like Rorschach and Rainfall, but we'll see. Eyes are on Zaun. For now, standard 2 gate opener here by Nightmare, just like last game. He's doing it again. This is bold. So just like last game, Zaun is going for a gate cyber setup here, going for a delayed second gateway. Very, very late. Intentionally so, like this is greedy. This is the build that Zaun went for last game as well. Same build. Same build, same opener. Zaun is going for a second gas geyser, so Zaun is going for a Stargate before Nexus, just like last game. And once again, when Nightmare sees what's going on, Nightmare is going to be prompted to one base all in, right? To punish the greed. Do we just get a carbon copy repeat of last game? Like, do we just run it back? We'll see. As Zaun does come in for his scouts, we'll confirm the 2 gate setup. So both players that scout each other. Second pylon's inside of the main. Third pylon for Zaun as well. Interesting. Does hide that third pylon. Was it spot? It was not. Okay. There's a Stargate. Just like last game, we're expecting the early Oracle. Now, something that is a little bit different coming to Rorschach is that the rush distance by ground is quite short. Rush distance by air is shorter. So this Oracle will get across the map very quickly. Meanwhile, just like last game, 3 gate. Just like last game, we have the 3 gate setup. We are looking for a proxy pylon. Adepts are being active. Did the probe get shut down? It did. Ooh, the scouting probe was sniped here for Nightmare. No proxy pylon, but if you remember, we began this game talking about how you can all in from back at home and it still hits very hard. Zaun is searching. Adepts stay in the shade. Once again, we have a safety shield battery here in the high grounds. It is going to be Oracle first, not Void Ray. And here comes the second probe for a backup pylon. Now, this is the one difference, is this pylon is going to be later this time for Nightmare. But Zaun gets a full scout. Yeah, he gets a full scout. He confirms the third gateway. Zaun knows. Does get a couple of probes. 2 probes do go down. Show us that pylon. The Oracle's on the way. And I want to say this time it's a faster Void Ray because it's a faster realization of what's going on. And you can see Zaun, he throws down a backup pylon, throws down another battery, assuming that it does finish. Proxy pylon here for Nightmare. Nightmare does have that battery. It's all or nothing. So this is the same build from game 1 from both players in game 2, but Zaun does have a slightly better setup. This time he has 2 pylons and 2 batteries and a faster Void Ray. So a cleaner defense this time from Zaun. Is it enough? Nightmare moves in. Will eventually focus on the pylon. Oh, does bring it down. Depowers one of the gateways. Uh-oh. Yeah, it does depower 1. Void Ray has arrived. And Zaun is buying time at the same time the Oracle is deflected. Ooh, the Oracle does get a stasis trap. Okay. Stasis trap into the main. Adept station into the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. Nightmare moves in. Going for the battery. And we'll get one, catching on one of the Stalkers as well. But that Void Ray has to be respected. Yeah, Void Ray takes down 2 more Stalkers, and Zaun is holding. Zaun, he's holding on. As you mentioned, this time it's a cleaner defense out of town. Oracle moves in, going for the stasis. This time Nightmare does notice. Nightmare, he does notice. Technically, Nightmare will have the option to expand if he so chooses. Twilight Council. Okay. Taking up. Going for the council, warping in more stalkers. I believe defensively. Does go for the gate. Oh. Forder has to be careful. Down setting up his own proxy pylon across the map. Zan is on still... Nah, he's on 3 gates, so he can counterattack. If Nightmare backs off, then Zan can go for his own counter all in. As Blink is on the way. Bearing in mind as well that the one base economy does last longer in the new patch compared to previously. They haven't increased the minerals, but they have increased the minerals on the small patches, on the closer patches. So you have more efficient mining for longer. Just as a heads up. That's also another factor as well, affecting and influencing this game. And PvPs in general, just because one base play is much more common in PvP. Sound breaks out. Push down the ramp. And Zani's broken free. Meanwhile, going for his own robo. Blink is almost done. Oracles, they do recall back home. They defend against the Adept. Still gets one. Not even. No damage being done. And Nightmare, he's being chased down. Heavy losses there for Nightmare. Losing how many? Losing 5 Stalkers. Nightmare has to get out of here. Has to pull away. Back at home, he's massing out more Stalkers. Blink is almost done. And I'm sure Nightmare wants Down to expand. He wants them to expand, but as we can see, Robo's on the way. We can lead into a mortar production. Ooh, Nightmare gets supply blocked. Lengthy supply block at that, because Nightmare still does not have a pylon. Pappy, what's it? There we go. Yeah, late reaction, late realization. The Nightmare. True, making use of the healing pad. Heals up his Stalkers. Extra pylons on the way. Ooh, and if Nightmare doesn't realize what's going on, there's a world where he blinks into the army and he will lose everything. As we do have stasis traps set up, so we got to be very, very careful here with Nightmare's army, with his blinks. When it comes to the overall size, we have 19 Stalkers. Zan will expand. And now there's Immortals as well. And it's looking more and more bleak here for Nightmare. It does catch 1 Stalker. Nice blink control. Nightmare, he defends. Baits out the first stasis trap. Okay. Nightmare. Baits out the other. Baits out both. Oh, goes for the dive. He does get the Immortal. Yeah, gets Immortal. Gets the Void Ray as well, I would imagine. There we go. Does 2 shots. Void Ray goes down. And do we have enough Stalkers left over? Ah, not quite. Yeah, not quite. And the Nightmare is going to be forced back. Nice snipe on the high-tech units, but we have another Immortal on the way. And the Oracles as well. It's taking too long. It's taking too long, Pappy. Oh. Yeah, as Nightmare, he does bait out one of the stasis traps. There's 2 more. Oh my god. And as time goes on, again, better economy for Down, building up more Immortals. Second Immortals on the way. Oh no! Okay, he blinks in. Jesus, that was close. There we go. Stage trap goes off. Connects with 3 more Stalkers. And Nightmare, he at this point has defended. At this point, he has defended. Building up more Immortals. Buying more time. More efficient mining. I mean, it is still 17 Stalkers. At least these Stalkers will survive this if they have a blink available. Oh, never mind. They're bleeding out 2 more. The Immortal just, oh my god, just hammers away at the army. Immortal is going to be focused down, but once again, the punish is brutal. Yeah, brutal punish. As we have another Immortal. GG. GG gets called. And with that, Zaun, he will tab the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, we had the same build 2 games in a row from both players, but this time Zaun, he was faster to scout, faster to recognize what was going on, and faster and a much stronger defense as well, much more dedicated defense, getting a faster second pylon, second battery, faster void ray as well, so stronger defense, and then it all just kind of went downhill from there for Nightmare. Tried to go for a secondary all-in with Blink Stalkers, but by then it was too late. By then there was already a Robo, already Immortal production. There's a world where if Zaun had gone for a faster Nexus, if Zaun had been a little bit greedier, then maybe he would have been cool with his pants down, but he was playing it safe with that Immortal production. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're tied up 1-1. Now we're going to be loading into game 3. Now, do we run it back again? Like, do we do we do it again, Pappy? I'm ready. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing onside. It is Zaun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the other South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Nightmare. Let's go. Let us go. I believe Soup has exclusivity for Korean coverage. Yes, it does. Got over on Soup. As for now, we are going to be settling in. Managed to watch Lord of the Rings Extended Edition in full while doing my opener. Oh, Iceland, was that your 12 pool opener again, where you made 12 sporting pools? If so, it would make sense. It would make sense. It would take you that long to make them without making any drones. Iceland. I would believe that. I would believe that. Sounds like a good time. As for now, we are going to be opening up once again. Oh, this time 2-gate opener out of Zaun. Much more standard Zaun. He calms down, doesn't risk going for another greedy build as we load into Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map of the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here, just like Rorschach. And here Zaun does play safer, does play more standard, as both players do open 2 gates. Now from here, we're looking for the placement of the second and third pylons, as that will tell us a little bit more about how aggressive we plan on being. Likewise, do we open up double Adept, double Stalker, Stalker Sentry, or Stalker Expand? There are a couple of different combinations here. Each one has its own purpose. Some are more aggressive, others are more macro based, others are greedier as well, others are more harassment based, so we'll see. We'll see how we open up. I'm feeling double Adept out of Zaun. Let's say double Stalker out of Nightmare. Oh, god damn it, it's double Adept. We got one right. So double Adept out of Zaun, double Adept out of Nightmare. Both players are going to be a little bit more aggressive here, looking to push out across the map and harass, bearing in mind that 2 Adepts, they will one-shot probes, so if we can shade into the main base, they can wreak havoc. We'll see if we double down, and if we go into a 3rd and 4th Adept, and even a 5th and 6th Adept as well, as you can double down into more and more Adepts. Oh my god, that's a Robo. Jesus. As Zaun does go for a Robo on 1 expansion before Nexus, we're setting up what looks to be a 1-base all-in. Zaun, he saw the second pylon, he saw the initial opener, so a very, very strong reaction here from Zaun, as both players do go into their Stalker follow-ups here, but again, Zaun is much more committed. Nightmare going for his own Robos. Well, Jesus, we're just synced up. The 2 players. The color is real, baby. Oh my god. Zaun and Nightmare, they're locked in, they're synced up here. Both players opening up double Stalker, both players opening up double Adept into double Stalker, into Robo, all on 1 base. Adept say shade across him, I think he'll 1 probe. We got 1 probe kill so far. Zaun also shading in. Nightmare is in position. And because we're both committing as hard as we are, I feel like, because it's the setup for 1 base all in, I feel like we should bounce off each other, but we'll see. Zaun, he can reinforce across the map. Setting up for, I would imagine, a third gateway. Yep, there it is. Third gateway's on the way. One base will win out of Zown, and Nightmare should do the same. No. Oh, Nightmare expands. Oh, calm down. Yeah, so Nightmare, he's going to be expanding here. He does not go for the third gateway, but I do favor Nightmare in this position. Why is that? Well, because both players went Robo. Because Nightmare has access to Immortal production, so even though Nightmare will have less gateway production, because of the defender's advantage with batteries alongside his own Immortals, he should be able to hold on, assuming that he scouts across the map, and he does. Yeah, he does scout the third gateway, he knows. So Nightmare gets a full scout, he reconfirms. Immortal production has begun. And I like Nightmare's position. I will say that the Immortal's a little bit delayed. It's a little bit late here. And did Nightmare fully wall? Ooh, Nightmare, he fully walled off as well. We're getting messy. Yeah, we're getting messy here. Zan is pushing. The all-in is coming. Nightmare, he will have one Immortal to defend, but no battery. Yeah, this is a late battery as well. And because he had to kill one. So a messy defense. We'll see if he can hold on. It's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be close. Nice force fields. Trying to look down some of the Stalkers. 1, 2 Stalkers go down. Heavy losses. Micro here with the Prism. And again, we should have a Prism here to support the army. Yeah, it's going to be focused down. No, sorry, I kept saying Prism. The battery. The battery should have been here to support the army. Battery goes down. Does not help. And Zan is just out controlling. Just out controlling with that War Prism. Just out microing. Nightmare, he has his own Prism, trying to hold on. It's going to be an uphill battle. He's down in supply, down in army. And yeah, he cannot defend. Not like this. Not after the opener. Not after the start. As he tries to keep up. And Zan snowballs out of control with that Zan. He will break the main army. He will overwhelm. And Zan will take a lead in the series. He'll take a lead. Again, we needed a tighter defense here from Nightmare, but to finish his own shield battery, to finish his own battery, which delayed his own battery as well, to have a later scout, later reaction to make the Immortals, it all just kind of fell apart. And with that, Zown, he busts into the main. At this point, we can game the production. Juggles further in, GG gets called, and Zown takes a 2-1 lead in the series. Zown is 1 game away from claiming the series. GG. GG, well played. One more game is all that Zown needs. We'll see if Nightmare can bounce back and force the ace match. I'm unfamiliar with the maps, as in I don't know what the vetoes are. Unfamiliar with the vetoes. We'll see where we drop in next. So far, it's been a hyper-aggressive series, but oh, hello. Game number 4 is going to be on a much larger map this time. We're going to be loading into Fear and Faith. Okay, massive map, 4-player spawn map. Now, the map might be large, but depending on spawn locations, we might still have close by ground spawns and close by air spawns as well, so we'll see what kind of spawn locations we have. Likewise, because the map is so large, you can proxy and it'll be harder to scout. So there are a lot of areas to proxy, to go proxy Robo, proxy Stargate, proxy Twilight Council even as well. We'll see. We shall see. As we are loading into game number 4. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner of Fear and Faith, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Onside, leading the series 2-1, and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is Zown. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss player himself, the South Korean Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Nightmare. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching his hat. Why GG? I don't get it. I believe that was in the previous game. If you recall, in game number 2, Nightmare was 1 base all in. So after failing to break Zown at the natural base, like there was no follow-up, there was no like longevity in that game. So that's why you would tap out in that kind of situation. But here we go. We're getting into game number 4, and we do have close horizontal spawns. Okay, Zown, he is going for the top scouts. Welcome one and all to Fear and Faith. There is this monorail system, and both players, they hop into the monorail. Both players are scouting the corners of the map. Unfortunately, they will not find each other yet, but they're looking. They're scouting. For those that are curious, this monorail system here is unique to maps like Exarch and maps like Fear and Faith. It's a way to get a fast scout across the map. It's a way to kind of solve, quote-unquote solve, the issue with 4-player small maps is the RNG factor of scouting. This means you get faster worker scouts to confirm your opponent's spawn location. As we're just going around, we're just going for the full circle. We're just Zan is looking. He's looking, Pappy. Meanwhile, Nightmare does go for the cross scout to bottom left, so they will find each other eventually. For those that are curious, only workers can fit inside this, so you can't like Link Flood or Zealot Rush through the tubing system. Like, they don't fit. They're too thick. They're too thick. Oh, Nightmare is setting up for the proxy in the middle of the map. We spoke about this at the beginning of the game. Because this map is so large, proxies can be harder to scout, and we're proxying dead set in the center. Meanwhile, Zan will eventually scout here in the bottom right-hand corner. Zan, he does wall off, or does try to wall off here the southern tubing system. Southern monorail system, if you will. Tunnel? There you go. Oh, Proxy Stargate. Okay. Proxy Stargate, not all in, just a way to harass, deal economic damage, and build up into a longer game with a lead. Meanwhile, Zan, he scouts, and Zan, he will confirm that the second pylon is missing. Yeah, he does see 2 pylons. He's aware that there's a pylon that should also be here. Yeah, you can see him double back. He's doing the double take. Checks the gases. Does notice both being taken. Likewise, Nightmare does find Zan, and Zan going for his own Stargate opener. Again, close by ground. But Nightmare's Oracle should hit first, of course. Will hit first. Oracle's going to be on the way. Sound moves in. And they threaten a shade. They threaten a shade. Again, the Oracle is coming. Are we getting a safety battery? No safety battery in the main base. Uh-oh. There's going to be one Stalker. One Stalker to defend. Nightmare, he has a battery that's, I mean, somewhat close to scout. Somewhat close to help to defend. The Oracle moves in, ignores the Stalker, heads for the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. Gets 1, 2, 3. Getting up to 4 probes. Yeah, 4 workers here, but the Oracle does have to back off. Is left on A move and will barely get away. 5 probes do fall at the same time. Zan is coming in. He's going to be rallying. Nightmare, he did not scout the tech. Oh, he didn't scout. He's not aware. Zan's running down the second pylon. Another gateway. Zan, he sees that tech is missing. He sees that a pylon is missing, so he believes that it might be a proxy robo. So a strong reaction here by Zan. As the Oracle's moving in. But this time there are plenty of Stalkers to defend. Much more than previously. Much more than Zan. And only gets 1. Wow, only 1. Ooh, and the Oracle goes down as well. Ay. 1 probe will lose the Oracle. Strong defense here from Nightmare. Setting up for the counterattack. Going to blink. Zan's in trouble. Yeah, rough start for Zan. Behind this, going for his own immortal production. Zan needs more time. Nightmare's coming. Oh. As Nightmare's breaking out. Zan setting up as best he can. Throwing down extra batteries, extra pylons. So 2 batteries, 3 pylons. Another battery further back. Mortal production has begun. Oh, my apologies. I assumed that Nightmare was just going to send it with Blink, but no, Nightmare does expand. Okay. Does get a Nexus. Let's go. That means that his goal here, his role should just be to contain his opponent. Keeps down on a low base count on 1 expansion for as long as possible, and just outscale. Just look to outscale him. Are we going for a ninja base? What's the... Estes down, does expand. I'm a little bit surprised that Nightmare was staying a little bit further back. I do feel like he could have tried to punish the army moving down the ramp here, but yeah, Nightmare, he's been chilling back at home. Now starting to be active. With his Phoenix, he can of course live for the Immortals and then dive in. I think the Nightmare has enough to break this. With the lift for sure. Yeah, does go for the dive, he gets one. Yeah, one Immortal goes down, does get two shots, now go for the other, and it should fall as well. Massive pig of losing two Immortals, and with that Nightmare snowballs out of control, he breaks through the main army. Takes down the Stalkers, takes down the Phoenix. And there's just nothing here. The numbers just are not there for Zaun. GG gets called, and we're going all the way to the ace match. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a rough start there for Zaun, as Zaun, he was ill-prepared for the initial proxy Oracle, so he lost 5 probes to the Oracle. Meanwhile, his own Oracle was a little bit more delayed, it hit later and did no damage, and with that, he was just outscaled. He was just outscaled, playing from behind when it came to the workers. His tech just fell on its face, so the Stargate opener was a waste of resources there. Did hurt more than help. GG. GG, well played. With that, Nightmare does snowball out of control, and now we're getting into the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Okay. So in chat, hopefully Maru versus Percival is waiting for us. Both qualifying matches are going to be casted. So don't worry, they're both going to be casted. As we're getting into game number 5. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of a Void Storm, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Onside. Being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Zaun. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player representing Streamer Zone. It is Nightmare. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome to Void Storm. Void Storm was a TLMC map from the most recent TLMC. Did make it to the top 16. Did not make it into the ladder, unfortunately. Is a hyper-aggressive map. I don't know if you noticed the trend, but because of Patreon voting influencing the map pool for this tournament, there's a lot of rush maps. There's a lot of hyper-aggressive maps, referring to Rorschach, referring to Void Storm, referring to Ruby Rock. Do they have Rainfall in the map pool as well? I'll have to double check. Like, how many rush maps does RSL have? Okay, it doesn't have Rainfall. Okay. I was about to say. But yeah, we do have, I should say, specific for RSL, they have more extreme maps. They have Void Storm, they have Ruby Rock, they have Rorschach, but they also have Fear and Faith, Exarch, and they also have Old Sun Temple. So they have a lot, they have the most extreme maps of the larger ones and the smaller ones as well. Oh boy. Meanwhile, welcome to Void Storm. Short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here. Again, very short rush distance. And on top of that, we have a healing pad dead set in the center as well, which may come into play. Bearing in mind that there is a barrier in the sky, so only ground units can make use of this healing pad. Bear that in mind. As now we do have a 2-gate opener here by Nightmare, likewise 2-gate opener out of Zaun. So far, so good. I appreciate that Zaun is not trying to go gate cyber, like no shot. That sounds crazy on Void Storm. There are some features that help when it comes to defensive play of Void Storm, when it comes to the ramp here in the center of the map, or when it comes to the terrain here, splitting the main attack path in half as well. But that's typically in the mid game. We expect early game aggression. For now, Double Adept versus Double Adept. Adepts are going to be sent out to harass across the map. They're going to be sent out. And again, we'll see if our players double down here. So Nightmare does throw down his pylon on the low ground. This is a sign of an expansion, typically. Zaun does the same thing. So, hey, do we finally... Now that we get into the ace match, do we finally expand and get a natural base up and running? Is it going to happen? We have not experienced the mid-game yet in this PvP. It's been non-stop one base all-ins and one base all-ins. Nightmare does hide his probe. They will both scout each other's pylons. Both players get their own proxy pylon set up, at least looking to. Yep, there's that pylon. Warp gate is almost done, and from here we're waiting to see either another gateway, a robo, a stargate, or an expand. Hello. There it is. Zaun the first to expand. Taking his natural. Nightmare. Ooh, Stargate first. Okay, it does go for the Stargate first. So it looks like Nightmare will also expand, but it's going to be delayed in favor of the Stargate. This means that we're going for the Oracle instead. There is potential for the Oracle to deal damage to give Nightmare a lead. We'll see if he can pull it off. But the pressure is going to be on Nightmare more than anything. Ooh, Zenith does shade in, and Zaun, oh, he gets a scout. He gets a free scout in the main. He confirms a Stargate, which means he will have a shield battery, which means the Stargate opener should not get any damage done. Oof, a much lower chance of it dealing damage. Still going for the expand. Nightmare's going to be playing from behind. He still has potential, though, with the Stalkers and Adepts. We'll see if we can apply some pressure and maybe outtrade. But they're defensive sentries. Force fields, I mean, they are king here at the early game of PvP just because there's no prism, there's no blink. Force fields can and will lock down parts of the army. Nightmare just reinforced that pylon. True, jeez, these reinforcements they hit so quickly. Oh my god, it gets a Stalker. Takes down a Stalker, takes down the pylon as well. Nice damage here by Nightmare. Delaying the economy. No shot he kills. No shot. Zaun is throwing down a battery. He's getting immortal production up and running as well. This Nexus is going to go down. Nightmare gets away with his base. Wow. Again, the power of fast warp-ins. Like, it's crazy. It takes so little time to warp in across the map and to apply more pressure in the new version of the patch. Or the new version of the game. It takes so little time to set that up. But that's one of them does shade in. Shouldn't get much done as we do open up Phoenixes, not Oracle. I mean, again, got scouted, makes more sense. And Zaun, what do we do from here? He will attempt to expand. So Nightmare in a stronger position. Maintains his natural, can now build up a greater worker count. Pressures on Zaun. Nightmare, he rotates. I like how the weakened Adept avoids the healing pad. Let's go. Let's I didn't know the biggest of deals. Did see it intentionally tiptoe around. As now we have a sentry. Now we can force through the ramp, and Zaun can't expand. Straight up, he just cannot expand. If he tries to move down, he'll be force fielded. The desperation of the Zaun going for the proxy Dark Shrine. When behind Dark Shrine. Unfortunately, we have a Stargate, so we have access to an Oracle, and a Robo's on the way as well. Yeah, Zaun, oh my god, getting depowered. Losing both gateways. He can't even warp in DTs. He has to repower. Trying to re-expand. And Nightmare, as long as he has an Observer, he should be fine. He doesn't know he needs one, to be fair, but... does need that detection. Dark Shrine is almost complete. Zaun trying to finally expand, trying to. Zaun is being outside. No, he scouts. No, he scouts. He does find the proxy. Dark Shrine has been spotted. I don't think the Nightmare is aware of what he had seen, by the way, not yet. But we should be seeing an Observer soon. As we're still getting the Immortal first. There's a chrono. Yep, there it is. There's the chrono boost on the Observer. DTs are waddling in. The Observer will pop out in time. One Dark Templar. Zaun did spot the Robo himself, so he's aware. And again, Zan just falling further behind. In PvP, there are some ways to recover economically, but you're heavily reliant on, say, Adept Harass, Shading to Mineral Lines, War Prism Harass as well, which wouldn't be possible because of all the Phoenixes. True, so that's not really a viable option here. The Phoenixes in general, they provide Nightmare a lot of map control, so trying to harass and trying to poke in, it's hard. Not easy. Here, Nightmare just being active. Gonna harass, coming for our scouts. I shouldn't get much done. There are plenty of stalkers. And there's nothing pressuring a Nightmare. He can just expand. He can just take a third base, build up a third, look to embrace the mid game. Moving out to destroy said proxy. He's deflected. Proxy goes down. At the same time, Down does move in. Looking to delay the third base. Nightmare's out of position and does force a cancel. Not bad. Now, what's my concern at this point as we blink into the main is that with the third base being cancelled, Down has recovered economically. He's recovered. Obviously, he's been mining less for longer, so he still hasn't quite caught up, but he's catching up. Like Nightmare, we're going to make use of this army at some point. As he has a massive force. We can't just stay idle at this point. As again, Nightmare, he's up 30 army supply. Where are we going? I was about to say. Immortals, come back home. What's going on? Zan is going to be meeting up with said Immortals. Are we going for... I mean, the base trade is also the best option for Zan. True. We're going for the base trade. Let's go. Nightmare pushing to the center. Zan coming in from behind. We're going for the base trade. And I still do favor Nightmare in this position, but I mean, it's the best chance here. The best chance for Zan to come into the base trade. Army moves in. Zan a little bit late to react. Yeah, a little bit late here. Nightmare does come into the main. Blinks forward, going for the pylons, going for the gateways, the production. Yeah, production's under fire. Everything's gonna be flashing red, and it all comes down to just how quickly we can destroy buildings. Meanwhile, we have pylons scattered all throughout the map here for Zan. Yeah, there are pylons all over the place. Bear that in mind. Oof. Force wheels, they lock down the probes. Natural has been killed. And Nightmare, he can try to recall. There is a recall available in the main. And he can always recall to the third base as well. True. Kills the main base. Does he recall? What's the plan? Yeah, third base left idle. Do we decide to recall? Next is getting low. There is a pylon out on the map here, but Nightmare doesn't have any probes. Sorry, many probes, I should say. Okay, he has two. He has 2 probes with the main army. He's fine. We have a backup base here on the top side. Nightmare, he hasn't scouted the third. No, he doesn't know. Yeah, he has not spotted the third base yet. Zan has a backup expansion. Nightmare, he finds a probe, throws down his own base. He still has not found this nexus. But I believe Nightmare wins the head-on fight. As long as he has everything together. True. Nightmare, oh, throws away Phoenix. Oh, throws out 1, 2, almost 3 Phoenixes. Nightmare getting sloppy. It's getting sloppy here. Speaking of, another Phoenix goes down. It blinks in, does get one of the Immortals. The other Immortals are a little bit late to join the fray. Yeah, it does go for the lift. Again, these Immortals, they gotta move in. We gotta move in. Yeah, blinks forward. There we go. And with that, Nightmare should overwhelm. Takes down 1, 2 Immortals. Trades well against the army. And again, the base trade was the best chance for Zan. He could not fight head on, not like this. Zan will lose the fight. Nexus falls. Nightmare still doesn't know about this space, by the way. He's still not aware. Do we recall? Oh. We do. Okay, there's that recall back home. Oh, recalls back home in time. Whew. That was very close. Very close, very clutch. Yeah, Immortals, they move in. We have one Soldier scouting. Nightmare, he still hasn't checked this position, by the way. These are the last buildings. We're healing up. When it comes to buildings, it's this one Nexus, this one pylon, and this second pylon. That's it. These are the 3 last buildings for Zan, by the way. Nightmare could just end the game if he had found this. But instead, he's going to be chasing the army. I believe Zan can recall. He can always recall. Yep, there it is. Oh, still bleeds out some Stalkers. Oh, he can recall, just kill the base. He's going for it. Ah, Nightmare's out of position. No shot. He's out of position. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, thankfully there's still buildings here, but Zan, he can kill the Nexus. Nightmare, he's still looking. He didn't realize that the recall came from the top side. He's still looking for the Nexus. No, he believes it's bottom left. No shot. He can't find the base. Bappy, there's one place you haven't looked. Nightmare. No shot. Can Zan win this game? I mean, we saw these buildings remaining, right? There's still these buildings. But Nightmare has 0 probes. So this is it. These are the final buildings for Nightmare. And Zan is getting an economy. Nightmare, he's thinking, he's like, what the hell's going? Where's the Nexus? What's happening? Okay. Where's the Nexus? There we go. Let's find it. He found the base finally. Zan moving in. Nightmare, he spotted this with the Observer, by the way. The Observer did spot the army. Ooh, nice catch. MVP Observer. Nightmare closing him in. Oh, who catches who? Nightmare blinking forward. Ah, one of them gets in. GG gets caught. And Nightmare, he will claim the series 3-2, qualifying for the season of RSL. GG. Nonsense, Bappy. Not. GG, well played. Congratulations, Nightmare. He will claim the series. He will claim the win. Again, I mean, the best chance here for Zan to win was the base trade, and Nightmare had a very hard time finding the final buildings and the final Nexus, but eventually found it, eventually shut it down, and I was able to keep up with with Zan. GG, well played, and Nightmare does qualify. Zan is out of the qualifier. He will have another chance in the European qualifier or via the Patreon voting as well. But GG, well played with that. Congratulations, Nightmare. He will qualify, and we're getting ready for our next series. It is going to be the next and final qualifying match. Oh boy, it's going to be a qualifying match here between Maru and Percival. Let's go. Let's go. And so we're preparing here for our final TVT. So just setting up our players, setting up our teams, and vetoes are underway. Beautiful. But with that, GG, congratulations to Nightmare. Again, Nightmare, he is not a very active player nowadays, but he was able to bring down Zan, able to make it into this season of RSL. So congratulations, he'll be a part of the main season, and hopefully he's able to get in form and in shape, of course, for the rest of said season. Bearing in mind as well that this does lead into the offline finals at BlizzCon. True. Which is pretty huge. It's less epic and more Benny Hill. A little bit. Just catching him with the chat. Nah, it was epic in its own way. I appreciate it. But let's go. We're getting into the final qualifying match here to determine who will join Nightmare in the main event. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. The red Terran player himself. We have the South Korean Terran. For onside, it is Maru. Let's go. Let us go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions should soon be open. Oh. There we go. Predictions are... soon to be open. So place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on who you think will claim this best of 5. Let's go. Yo, no one predicted the previous match? Oh my god. What's happening with the Gamba, papi? But place your bets. As we're settling into our TVT. Now, coming into this, of course, TVT, and from our experience, all the mirror matchups like that have not really changed. I, of course, have to eat my words a little bit when it comes to the previous PvP, as we have seen, due to the buff to the gateway, due to the fast warp-ins, it does make PvP a little more intense, a little more hectic, a little more chaotic and aggressive, just because you don't have to commit into a gateway as well to have a threatening pylon out on the map. So PvP has become more aggressive than previously due to that change. When it comes to TVT and at least our experiences in Doyo Cup, it looks like still the same, which means we're expecting a lot of aggression in the early to mid game. We should be seeing a lot of say early proxies, early aggression, early move outs. We did see a rise in popularity of 2-port 2-base all-ins during Doyo Cup. I'm curious if that translates here into some more active players as well, or if we ever embrace a 3-base economy. We expect not, but we'll see. Here we go. As for the timing, double gas opener out of Maru, going for a faster factory. Likewise, single gas opener out of Percival, going for a faster CC. So Percival is going to be the more economic player, going to be the defender. Meanwhile, Maru is going to be the aggressor instead. Here we go. Meanwhile, when it comes to TVT, Percival has been improving quite heavily over the past couple of months. Again, you've been watching his tournament results in open tournaments. We've seen Percival take down Byun and Cure on a much more regular basis, and you could make an argument that Cure has better TVT than Maru. So I would say that a year ago, Maru would be the heavy favorite, but in current StarCraft, in current era, Percival does have a strong chance here against Maru. We'll see if he can hold his own and make a series out of it. I know that Maru has, of course, the flair. He's got the fan base behind him, of course, but when it comes to tournament results, like, Percival has been grinding, and that grinding has been paying off. As from here, we're going to be opening up. Again, it's going to be a Maru to try to delay the economy here of Percival as the Reapers they move out. Looking to poke in. They confirm there's no CC on the low ground, and our players will expand. Here we go. EU qualifier on Wikipedia has Maru participated. If he is allowed to play, if he wins now. If he wins now, then there's no reason to play in another qualifier, because there's no benefit to that. So it's obviously not. Qualified players will obviously be removed from the brackets if they try to play another, because there's no benefit to it. Like, there's no money on the line on the qualifier or anything like that, so most likely he just signed up in case he loses here. I think an example of that, I think Byun signed up for all 3 qualifiers, but he won in the Americas qualifier, so he doesn't need to play. As from here, Percival does move out, catching at a Reaper. But alas, the tank drop is going to be able to punish him here. Yeah, so I was a little bit distracted. But Maru did open up with the tank drop, hyper aggression, hunting down the initial Cyclone. We do see some kind of counter micro here from Percival, but he does take a lot of hits. Yeah, it does take too much damage. The Cyclone is very low, very fragile. Oh! So I was going to lock on here in the medevac, but the tank still overwhelms. Yeah, it does overwhelm Maru. He does break through, critical damage. Doesn't quite keep pushing though, doesn't have enough. Down to 1 Hellion. Oh my god. And 1 tank. Still rallying, by the way. Maru, he's rallying. And because of this tank still having a presence here, Maru, he can actually threaten the natural. Oh, this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hands. Getting within range of the production. Going for the depot. Scanned, gets a shot off on the tank as well. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, it's becoming too much. As a second shot goes off in the tank, oh my god. Yeah, tank is low. Picks up the depot. Within range of the racks as well. And we'll see when and if Percival can break out. Let's try to move in. Yeah, the Raven is ready. Disable as well. Does threaten the army. Doesn't quite get the medevac. And Maru pulls it. No, he gets the Raven. Yeah, Maru does snipe the Raven. Ay, ay, ay. Heavy losses here for Percival. Losing the Raven. A second tank has arrived. Maru, he still maintains his position. Oof. Yeah, still does maintain. And still within range of the production. Oh no, the racks. Does force a lift off within range of the factory as well. Yeah, just a brutal position here. And Percival can't break out. Remember, he lost his Raven. He lost his own Raven. The tank thereafter as well. Oof. Does trade 1-for-1. Does trade, but again, still within range of the production. Oh. Percival going for his own counter drop. But again, it might just be too late here. So now we have a third tank within range. 3 tanks, Fabian, 3 Ravens. Factory goes down, massive pickoff, no lift. Doesn't save, GG. GG gets called. And Maru takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, Maru going for the early 1-1-1 into fast tank drop across the map. This is a build that was popularized, a year... Was it a year ago? At least 6 months ago. At least 6 months ago. For players like Maru, Bjorn, and Clem as well. Hyper aggressive way to open up and to very quickly snowball out of control if allowed to. And again, Percival had a very shaky defense here. And with that, Maru does take the lead. Does take the first game, does take the lead in the series, and with this we're now getting into game number 2. We'll see if Percival can start to bounce back. Again, it was just a very aggressive game here from both players, from specifically Maru, of course, with the initial Raven and with the initial tank shots on the Cyclone going off. Like, that was just a brutal way to start that defense, and it'll just kind of snowballed from there. With the Cyclone taking too many hits, it couldn't really threaten the tank or threaten the medevac. Likewise, with the Raven going down, we could not disable or break the tank line. Even though Percival, he researched disable, he researched interference matrix, he couldn't make use of it. Couldn't make use of it, lost the Raven. So rough start, rough follow-up, and here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of at Attorney's Edge. We have the South Korean Terran player, we have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player, the South Korean Terran. For onside, it is Maru. Let's go. Let us go. As we're getting to game 2 here, and we'll keep a better eye on Maru's initial opener. I was just paying too much attention to the chat earlier. My mistake, my mistake. This is Maru. Nobody wanted to show him playing the game. Why? How? I mean, for myself personally, I didn't feel any desire to cover the Silky Silver BV series into Maru, just because I felt like some of the other matches would be a little bit more closer and entertaining, and I have no regrets. We covered Zaun versus Young Yakov, of course, leading into Nightmare versus Zaun as well. So we had some fun games, fun series. I was also assuming that Ryung was going to be covering Maru's matches, but I assumed that Ryung also had the same thought process that I did, that those games would be a little bit more one-sided. Still, there was no desire to cover them. In the end, went to the ace match, which is crazy, but yeah. We're covering them here and now. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I thought that Ryung, he went into one of the other matches initially as well to be there for some of the other players. But regardless, Regardless, we are going to be settling in. So far, we do have, once again, a ranks expand here from both players, actually. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Single gas opener, ranks factory out of Percival. Remember, last game, Percival went for a more economic build. This time, we're going for a faster factory. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Maru does open up with a single gas geyser instead into a faster CC. Last game, it was a faster factory with double gas, which led into his aggressive follow-up and aggressive build. This time, more economic. And welcome to Attorney's Edge. This is a bit of a larger map in the map pool. I say larger map, but depending on how we expand, we can either be more aggressive or more defensive. We're now Percival scouting for proxies, checking the nearby location. Doesn't find anything, just playing it safe. No proxies. Beautiful. For now, though, for here, we are going to be settling in. We do have our 1-1-1 follow-up here by Maru. Likewise, Percival still getting a CC on location. Building on up. Due to the later expansion, Percival, it's on him to be a little bit more active here, more aggressive. Does back in, and we'll find no CC on the low ground. Oof. Yeah, we'll take a shot to the face. As Maru does continue Hellion production. Building up into 4. I believe from here we can get up to 6 Hellions. We'll see if Maru does continue. There's an add-on swap into Raven. We could even go Banshee. Going for the Raven. More of a standard follow-up. And if we do commit, yeah, we are committing into 6 Hellions. The goal here should be to dive. With 6 Hellions, you can dive past the army, head for the mineral line, and this can actually do a surprising amount of damage. Again, this is something that has been more popular as of late to mix in. Even Percival's done this as well. And I believe Percival is currently unaware as to how many Hellions are amassing. He saw the first 2, but only the first 2. Percival, he himself is going into Banshee play. So side can follow up into Banshee to harass across the map. Here come our initial Hellions, 6 moving out. And Maru can get in, does get spotted. And Percival's aware, does get the hell out of here, pulls back, has a safety cyclone on the high ground, the second cyclone's in production. Percival, he's ready. He's ready at the ramp. And Maru's moving in. He's moving in towards the main. So far, quick reaction, losing 1 SCV. 1 SCV goes down. Oops. Almost losing 2. At the same time, Percival, he will avoid the Zelnaga tower. Skirting around the edge. Back at home, do we have any Cyclones to defend? We do. There's 1 Cyclone missing the bases. Or he has some units. He has anti-air. Percival, likewise, he does bypass the Zelnaga tower with the main army as well. Cheeky moves out of Percival. And he's being cheeky. Banshee does hits. Percival coming in from behind. Can he get on top of the Cyclone? He's trying to. Does try to go for the dive. Tank does arrive. Just in time, and Maru's holding. And Maru, he will force us back, not without losing the Cyclone. Hellions, they come in from behind. They punish. That's still going to be 6 SCV kills. But Maru holds. Yeah, he does hold on. Bearing in mind, that was the entire army, by the way. That was both Cyclones being thrown away and the Banshee. And now that has triggered a counterattack. Behind this, second starport's on the way. We mentioned at the beginning of this series how 2-port Jubei all-ins have been much more trendy in Doyo Cup, and we're seeing that here as well in the RSL Qualifier. With the second starport, the goal here is to go into Mass Vikings, to build up triple Viking production, to gain air control, and then you can go Liberator behind it. There it is, already actually going Liberator early on here from Maru. And this is a way to just overwhelm the ground army. Does hit quite hard. Massive disable. Gets 1 tank. Does go for the dive. He wants the Marines. Yeah, Marines are lining up. Nice shots going off. Tank goes down. And even before the Vikings arrive, this is already getting a hand. It's getting out of hand. Massive damage here at the natural. Ay, ay, ay. 10 SCV kills. Boys are being pulled into nothing. There's nothing to repair, nothing to defend. And again, even before the second starport coming into play, this is already too much damage. Mars moving in. Again, the Liberators are coming. The Freedom, Pappy. They're coming. And that's just an easy way to just to unsiege this tank, to break through into the natural, to break this intense position. It's all about that air control. It's all about that air. Percival going for a counterattack, going for harass. The Liberators, they are coming. They're coming and they're here. And again, what can we do against them? There's no Cyclone, there's no Viking. Liberation has arrived, forcing the unsiege. Oof. Catching a tank. Yeah, kills the tank, does force the unsiege. Now the rest of the tanks can move forward. Now we can move in. And now we have to pull the voids. It's all or nothing for Percival. He commits into auto turrets. GG gets called, and Maru does overwhelm, taking game number 2. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, hyper aggression there from Maru once again. In a different way, I should emphasize that it was Percival being the aggressor first. Trying to be cheeky, going for the Banshee harass at the natural and bypassing the Zanaga tower coming in from behind, trying to do critical damage at the natural base. He killed 6 SCVs, but it cost him everything. He lost both Cyclones, he lost his Hellions, he lost the Banshee as well. That triggered a massive counterattack. Maru retained his high-tech units, Cyclones, tanks, and was able to just instantly counterattack and go for the 2-port play. Go for the second starport into those Liberators to seal the deal and to end the game then and there. GG. GG, well played. With that, Maru's up 2-0 and the pressure is on. We'll see if Percival can bounce back. I will say that Percival hasn't really had the chance to really build into his own game. It's been very intense games, but that is the trend. That is TVT in a nutshell. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting to game 3 here, and we'll see if Maru closes it out here and now. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Necropolis, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss, sorry, Terran. I see P for Percival, I think Protoss. The South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, it is Percival. I did the same thing with Zaun earlier. I called him Zerg. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the South Korean Terran representing onside. It is Maru. Let's go. Let us go. We're settling into our TVT. We're settling into game number 3, and welcome to Necropolis. Necropolis is a map that I have very limited experience with. It was a part of the previous season of TLMC. It was voted in by the RSL patrons, and it is a bit of a larger map. I say bit of, it is a larger map. Larger map. The map pool, more defendable natural, as we have the high ground natural base. Likewise, we do have a high ground coming to the 3rd base as well, so a much easier to defend at 3-base setup. We do often see some more mid-game play on Necropolis as a result, but so far this series has been very high octane, has been very aggressive, and just because the map might favor some longer games doesn't mean we're going to get it. Hello. As Percival does move out, 1 Rax back at home. Eyes are on this SCV. As Maru's going for a double gas opener. Okay, so double gas opener, Maru's going for a faster factory. Maru's going for a safer start. Safer, more tech-heavy start. Meanwhile, Percival, what's the plan? Going for a 2 Rax Reaper. Okay. So, bearing in mind this is not an all-in, the reasoning for this is because 1 Rax is back at home, the other is across the map. This is aggressive, that is true, and you do want to get damage done with this, but you do transition back at home into your own CC on the higher ground, into your own expansion. You can macro out of this. Despite that, though, you still do want to find some damage. Unfortunately for Percival, when it comes to the rock, paper, scissors of openers here, Maru should be safe, should be having minimal losses, and should shut this down as he will have a faster Hellion. Factory's on the way, Hellion is on the horizon. Tower versus Percival. Yes, yes. Bud Fabhard. As here come the Reapers. Maru, he will check the nearby proxy locations, does check the 3rd, and the opposing 3rd location as well. These are the more standard proxy locations. We can see here it's a little bit further back. And we'll see how quickly Maru responds. It's going to be all about that worker micro from Maru to minimize worker losses and to buy time for the Hellion. Makes you think of Eva and Piva. Tiba as well. True, true. See, it's easy with him. It's Este Eva. Represented into the main. Maru, he does react. Oh. As Maru does shoot first here, nice KDA charge. Percival is forced out, and Maru defends. Maru, he has held, he has defended, the Hellion has now popped out. Both players will now expand, and now we are transitioning in towards the early to mid game. Let's go. So again, nice defense here out of Maru. Percival, he thankfully doesn't lose anything at least, and he is able to retain these Reapers, but the likelihood of him dealing damage with this is a little bit lower. So again, the pressure is still very much so on Percival. He's going back in. He's looking to go back in. Now there are two Hellions. Yeah, he's gonna lose everything. Yeah, massive Hellion shots going up, catching on one of the Reapers. Gets one. He wants the others. One more shot. Up, uno más. Uno más, papi. They're lighting up. Casito. Oh my god. Yeah, Percival has to pull away behind this, trying to reinforce with another Reaper. Does buy some time. Very nice KDA charge, and Percival does pull out. Races back home. Now, because of the build of choice, because of the initial 2x Reaper, it means this factory is very late for Percival. So in comparison, Cyclone production's already begun for Maru. So we go Cyclone. Boys are being pulled to defend. He's laying mining. Maru does have that tech lead, and he's not stopping. The momentum is, he's going to keep up that momentum with said medevac drop. So building with Cyclones, dropping across the map. Again, we'll see Percival can stabilize. He's not out of the woods yet. So here comes that drop. Again, Cyclone, Reaper, double Marine. It doesn't look like a lot here, but as we mentioned, the tank production, sorry, the factory production was delayed for Percival. So there's still a lot of potential here for Maru. Percival has his one Cyclone. Setting up on the low ground. Oh, Percival does... Okay, thank God. I was still a bit concerned it was going to move out. Thankfully, he stays home, and it looks like we'll lose a depot. Depot gets low. Oh, going for the Marines. Gets one. One Marine and pulls away. So again, nice little trade here from Maru. Getting some value, pulling out, back at home, building up his tanks, Ravens. And even still just rallying. He just has no chill. Just rallying across the map with everything he has. Why not, Pappy? Why not? Maru, he is committing. Percival, again, he has one tank on the low ground. Tank doesn't siege. Okay, re-sieging on the natural. You know, Maru, he moves in. Trying to get within range of the ramp. Oof. Yeah, nice tank shot here on the Cyclone. Within range of the depot. Oh, a tank shot on the tank as well. Ay. Yeah, some brutal tank shots. Auto towers coming in from both players. Tank is exposed. Percival, he wants that tank. He gets it. Does barely snipe. And Percival holds. He's holding on for now. He's holding back. Ensuring the tank count doesn't get out of hands. Oh, brutal tank shots. We'll lose another tank, though. Yeah, we'll lose another. Auto towers, they come in. Boys are being pulled into the auto turrets. More SCVs going to be going down. They're losing 3, 4 SCVs, 5 SCVs even. As Maru's out of energy. And now we're coming down. Third CC's on location. Maru, he does have a decent... He's in a decent position here, but doesn't quite have enough to keep pushing. Did I see a second starport? I did. Okay, so second starport here from Percival. I remember last game, Maru went for a 2.2 base all-in. We're seeing something very similar here to Percival, except he's doing this with a third CC. Yeah, third CC further back in the main. But Percival is going into Mass Viking. Maru, he did the same thing. As he already does have double starport production. As we mentioned, like, this has been very trendy on this patch. Very, very trendy. So you're a double starport Mass Viking. Maru's keeping up with the main army. Does keep up, does run away. Oof. Losing a Cyclone. Now, I will say that I believe Percival has... Oh, never mind. I was going to say he has more energy on his Ravens to make use of, but it's actually quite similar. Viking count is slightly in favor of Maru. Percival, he went for an earlier Liberator. Rallying across the map. Has some potential. Maru going into mech, actually. Okay. Second factory, no second racks, no bio, no stim. He's meching it up. Again, Maru, he does like to mix in mech when it comes to his TVT, specifically TVT. And the armies, they pass by each other. We're going for the base trade. Let's go. We're going for the base trade. In the end, Maru, he does evacuate his natural. Percival, he's late to do so himself. Ooh. Yes, SCVs are going to go down. Percival slowly pushing in. Maru, he's already in between the bases. Getting us over the SCVs. Vikings, they land. Workers, they get annihilated. So many SCVs going to be going down. Again, Percival, he's a little bit late here to push in. Yeah, later to move in. Maru came to the production. Everything's on fire. Percival slowly pushing up the ramp instead. And Maru, he evacuates. Yeah, Maru, he lives. He evacuates his third base. Percival has a third base himself, but he won't save the SCVs. And Maru, he's just faster in the base trade. Just much, much faster here. We go for the Great Migration. Lifts up everything, whatever he can. But there are Vikings to chase all this down. And again, Percival's still taking too long. We're still actually producing units here in the main base of Maru. He's still mining. Oh my god. He's still just mining in the main. Ay, ay, ay. Again, the base trade was maybe one of the best options here for Percival to go into, but just so late to really get anything going. Had so little to work with. Cyclone has arrived. Liberator goes down. Oof. So Maru, he's still able to mine. And GG. GG gets called. Maru, he will claim the game and take the series 3-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Maru, he will claim the series again. Hyper aggression here from both Maru and from Percival as well in his own right, which is what we expect out of TVT. In the end, though, Percival, he was caught off guard one too many times, especially when it came to like the first game, even if you will. Percival, he tried to be the aggressor on attorney's edge, but he got punished for it, where he moved into the natural, got himself surrounded, lost everything, and it all just snowballed from out of control from there. And even here in Game 3, if you recall, it all began with 2x Reaper, and it did not pay for itself. The 2x Reaper initially was shut down quite hard and didn't really get any value, so we saw Percival playing from behind. That allowed Maru to push out across the map with his first tank and to get more value, just disrupting the production, catching out tanks, catching out units, and yeah, just making it difficult there for Percival. In the end, ended up in the base trade, but again, was late to base trade, or even had a smaller army to work with, right? Had a smaller army, less DPS, GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, Maru, he will claim the series, and Maru, he will qualify for RSL. GG. GG, well played. And let's have a look at who our players are here in the next season of RSL. Let's go. Okay, un momento. Let us head on over here. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. I do need a moment to go over said brackets. There we go. Bam. Okay, so we're looking over at the Wikipedia page, and here we have Season 6 of the RSL. So based on the performance of Season 5, we have our top 8 players. We have 2 Protoss with Classic and Hero, the 2 best Protoss players in the world. We have 2 Terrans in Clem and Bunny, and we have 4 Zerg with Lambo, Rogue, Shin, and Solar. These are the 4 players invited in from last season's RSL. Meanwhile, yesterday we had the Americas qualifier that we did cast. We did have Bjorn and Cure making it through the Americas qualifier, and we just wrapped up the Korean qualifier, which is Maru and Nightmare. So 1 more Terran and 1 more Protoss. So far it's going to be 3 Protoss, it's going to be 5 Terran and 4 Zerg. Bearing in mind, we still have the European qualifier. I believe that is tomorrow, I think that's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So we still have the European qualifier for 2 more players. Bearing in mind that this is a little bit misleading. This isn't the Americas qualifier, it's the Americas server qualifier. It's the Korean server qualifier. That's why Young Yakov was playing earlier. That's why Bjorn and Cure made it through the Americas qualifier as well. So anyone can play in the qualifier. It's just that the name of the qualifier does give that server priority. So that means that if, for example, Raynor, if Raynor played in the European qualifier, and if he played against say Shin, for example, Shin's already here. If he played against, say, like Trap, or played against Percival, he can force the European server. So Raynor would have the ping advantage in that respect. So it is going to be difficult for the Koreans to play in the European qualifier, as they'll have to play at a ping heavy ping disadvantage. On top of that, it's at a much more friendly European time, so it's going to be at like 3 a.m. in Europe. Sorry, it's going to be like at 2 a.m. in Korea, like 2 a.m. in Korea. So really, really rough time for the Koreans, but they might still play it. They might still qualify. There's still a chance for that to happen, for example. That'll be the European qualifier, and then bam, we have the fan vote. There's going to be the fan vote down here as well. Which is the when I say fan vote, really that should be the Patreon votes. Basically, if you want to support the RSL, you can do so via Patreon, and if you become a Patreon, depending on your tier, you can vote on things. You can vote on maps, and you can vote on players as well. So there is that fan vote. True. So it's in a few hours. So there you go. So technically, it is tomorrow. It'll be on the 31st. It's gonna at least here in Australia. Unlucky Personal has gotten so good that I thought it'd be competitive, but no. I mean, I would have assumed so as well, but it was just because of the nature of TBT. Like, it's just very intense and very aggressive and very, very high octane. So like, you have very little room for error, I should say. Any small misstep, any small mistake, and everything will just snowball out of control. Just due to the aggressive nature of TBT. When is the European qualifier? Let's have a look here. Un momento. European qualifier is in 4 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours time. We won't be casting it, so I'm going to be asleep. But in 4 hours time, I'm hoping that there's going to be some coverage to it. There most likely will be some other language caches, so Indie casting in Polish, maybe TKL casting in French. So there should be some other language coverage. When it comes to English coverage, I cannot say for certain who will cover it. But we'll see. Just because I know that like Wardy, I don't think he casts RSL. There's a reason why he's not here, right? He doesn't really cast RSL matches. I think does he have his own events? Maybe? No. So there might be like a Steadfast or maybe like a Dave Testa or something, maybe. Hopefully there's some oh no, Roddy, that's it. I think usually Rotterdam. I think he casts it. That's it. So I would imagine that Rotterdam will be the most likely English caster for the RSL qualifiers, for the European one. So do check it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. We're going to be heading off here for the time being, just catching up with the chat. Going to be wrapping up. Rotterdam is probably in a bad mood after yesterday's fall back. Oh no. Has he spent the night drinking in sorrow? Maybe. That's true. Well, that's a maybe on that one. That Roddy will be sober to cast. We'll see. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. If you want some more StarCraft action, bam, you can see our weekly schedule. We are live every single day, and we should be live tomorrow with the Pixar Cup. Pixar Cup is going to be tomorrow morning. We have Kung Fu Cup tomorrow evening, StarCraft Evolution League on Thursday and Sunday. We have the Podcast on Friday, and we have Crank Gathers on Saturday. So again, a week full of StarCraft. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Again, we will not be covering the European qualifier. It's just a little bit too late for us here in Australia, so most likely we'll be going to bed. Most likely. But thanks for watching anyway. And again, we should be able to co-stream the RSL main event playoffs as well. We usually do co-stream it. Last season something came up, so we weren't able to co-stream the final day, but outside of that we should be able to co-stream the playoffs. Shout out to Tasteless, State, Gemini, and Sturgeon. They do cover the event on their own channel, the RSL channel, so they do cover there over on YouTube and on Twitch. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We're going to be heading off for the time being. If you want to support us, you can do so by following us on the socials. If you maybe noticed and you want to watch the RSL Americas qualifier, I do recommend it. Some really fun matches there between Cure, Zaun, Trigger, and Byan. So I do recommend it. Check it out over on YouTube. YouTube is the place to be. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. Until next time, hasta luego.